Gen X Brian here. This week on Convincing Idiots, what movies shaped you as a child? We talk about ours in our main segment. Pop culture headlines includes the coronation of King Charles III. We talk about that and the whole celebration in general. In our Ask an Idiot segment, the Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has announced their 2023 inductees, again lacking an overall list of hard rock and metal acts. Are they leaving these bands out? What's the solution? We discuss all this and plenty more pop culture talk, nerdy stuff, questionable jokes, and of course, personal insults. Hang with us, and let's start the show.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the stat man, not just anyone's opinion, the stat man Brian Fisher.
These kids today,
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Caucasian.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And welcome to the podcast, welcome to the vodcast, welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean. They call me the Zennial.
Brian Gen X.
And I am a millennial, and my name is Nick. And if this is your first time joining us, we are Convincing Idiots. We're a weekly podcast hosted by three friends representing three different generations in which we like to discuss nerd and pop culture. So if you have not already done so, please go like, subscribe, rate, review, follow us. Please follow us on all of your favorite social media accounts, which are all conveniently displayed for you on our Linktree. So just go ahead to Google and type in Convincing Idiots Linktree, Linktree, and there it will take you to all of our social media accounts. You can also find that information and so much more on our website. That is convincingidiots.wordpress.com. Like I said, all those links are there, as well as where you can listen to our podcast each and every week. We have a merch store up as well, in which you can display our logo, or hell, even pictures of these wonderful faces that you see on your screen right now on your body, or maybe
Don't
on some
just watch
drinkware.
us, wear us.
That's correct. That's correct. And if that's not enough for you, and you're looking for an alternate way to enjoy this podcast, may I invite you to find us on our other platform, which is Boss Code Media. Our friends at Boss Code Media were kind enough to feature us, as well as our friends on It Came From Gen X as well. Boss Code Media, Boss Code TV, is a smart app that can be downloaded on your smart device or on your smart TV. So look them up and find us there as well. So we're here live and in person this week. Typically you might see us in three separate boxes. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening, this probably won't sound any different. So we are in person tonight, being hosted once again by the mustachioed one. Dean, thank you for having us.
You are welcome.
And other than the fresh new mustache, how have you been?
I am, I'm good.
His hair's up.
You touch it. There you go.
too.
Oh, that feels
That was
good.
not-
Oh,
didn't cooperate.
there. Oh.
Okay.
You actually licked your finger. That's
I did, and now
that's
it's on your
fun.
face.
It is on my face. All right.
COVID's over. What are you worried about? They said it. It's fine. We can spit in each other's mouths like we always used to. It's fine.
We're back, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I'm good. Let's see. I haven't really done much the past weekend besides shave the beard off into just a mustache, which
That took all week.
I did it in sections. You know, it was a very daunting task.
Yeah.
But no, it's It's coming along quite well.
It looks nice.
Thank you.
Like a gentleman.
Thank you. I feel like a cowboy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I haven't done anything. We had the kids and we did kids stuff and we baseball games and there was one thing. All right, so I was coming out of a parking lot right today, and this woman pulls off onto the street, and even in a parking lot, you have to stay on the left side. We are on the right side. It is a social goddamn contract that we all agreed upon when we got our license, right?
Yeah.
She
So you
sat
treat
there.
it like a little mini road.
Right. Yeah. I'm in a work vehicle, so I can't do what I want to do. I can't say what I want to
Smash
say.
your windows out with a crowbar. I hate that. I hate when you can't do that.
No, I honked a couple times, and she didn't even look up. She's looking down at a goddamn device, and I'm trying to keep my calm, trying to keep my cool, but she's just sitting there. I'm honking. One honk, occasionally two honks, occasionally nothing. And then she finally looks up and blames me. And she pointed to the left side. Like I could have gone around where she should have been.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, my God. Just driving in general pisses me off nowadays.
Okay.
Because I do it so much. But the idea that we all agreed to this fucking contract of life. Whatever reason, we all agreed to it.
It's even the same with foot traffic. If you walk
Yes.
around in a mall,
Yes.
Yeah.
you're on the same. If you're going this way, you're on the right. If you're going this
And
way,
it's
I mean,
this-
you're always on your right, walking forward.
And it's the same idea. It's just like somebody's not paying attention, then they're walking on the wrong side, and then come to you, and then look at you like it's your fault.
Right.
That's the essential what it was.
Yeah.
Just pissed me off.
I get that way on the, I riding the bike on towpath trails and
Sure.
stuff. Right? You have people that just fucking zombies out there taking up the whole, like two or
Right.
three
It's like
people.
you
taking
guys
up
are
the
already
whole-
all on your electric scooters. It's like, can we just? And we're already moving at a snail's pace. Can we at least get it together so that we're not gumming up traffic?
Brian on his rascal.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
He goes, this feels weird live. I don't like it. I don't like this at all.
I'm sorry. Go on. Yes. But yeah, riding the bike, same deal. Yeah.
That's it. Just frustrating.
Sure.
That's all. So pay attention, people.
Get on the right side of the
dang it.
fucking road.
Yeah. Convincing Idiots public service announcement.
That's right.
That's right.
From
That's right.
us to you. Pay the fuck attention.
Right. Exactly.
To us.
That's right.
I don't give a shit about anybody else.
I don't care what you drive
When
like, as
you
long as I'm not on the
see
road
us,
with you. You pay
Us
attention to
and
us.
the road. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about anything other than the beautiful mustache. That's about everything going on with me.
Nice.
What about you two? Brian, what's going on with you?
Good weekend. We'll talk more about it. Allie and I went to see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on Friday.
Oh, okay.
Enjoyed that. We'll talk about that a little bit, non-spoiler, but very emotional movie. Again, we'll talk about it. And then Saturday had my first fire of the year. It was very nice. First
Okay.
bonfire out back with the Coopers.
Well, it's a good thing you said bonfire.
Bonfire. Yes. Very
We know
relaxing.
your love for arson.
Burned down my
Yeah, not
first
first.
house of the season. That's great.
Not first fire of a vacant home in Kenmore. No.
At least you started doing the vacant one.
That's the first. That's right. This guy's mowed his goddamn lawn in 3 weeks.
Oh,
going
man, he's
up
not
in a
even
blaze.
home. No one's screaming
Well,
in
he
there.
pulled up to the house here, and he looked at the yard and had a match. I'm like,
Going up, Phil, next week. But that was nice, and just a busy week at work and everything. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Good.
How are you, sir, Nick?
I'm good. I'm good. What did we
Moving
do?
on.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. What did we do? We went out Friday. We went out with your family, as a matter of fact, to the VFW for. They were good. Yeah, your family's doing well.
I forgot about it until I looked at the video of my father singing
Your father
karaoke.
singing.
Yep.
And I'm like, shit, that was tonight. Because I really was. I did have planned to at least stop by and say hello.
Yeah.
But my buddy Tim came over. We got guidance. I don't see him in. It's been like a couple of years, right? I mean, we see each other like in passing, but
Yeah.
him and his family came over and we talked. So I lost track of time, and then I saw the video. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. But that was fun. We're not like members of the VFW or anything.
Yeah.
But, do you know how fucking cheap it is to drink at a VFW?
That used to be our pregame.
Holy shit.
We would go there. Pitchers are, at least back in the day, it was like $4 for a pitcher. So all of us would go get hammered and then go out to the actual bars, where it's going to be like $5 for a beer back then. It was a great pregame.
Yeah, we went in there because it was Cinco de Mayo. Our plan was to stop in and, wish a happy birthday to our sister-in-law, Stacy, and say hey. And then we were going to go and get some Mexican for Cinco de Mayo and have some margaritas and stuff. She was running late. It was a surprise party. She didn't know she was supposed to be there. But anyway, in the meantime, I buy a beer. And I go up to the bar, and I was like, give me whatever, a beer, Yingling or whatever. And she goes, okay. She goes, that'll be... I hand her my card.
Right.
And she goes, it's going to be a $10 minimum for your card. I was like, okay, whatever.
I'm going to have a beer. Like I said.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll just slam a couple beers. She was like, that'll be $3. And then she goes, no, it'll actually be $2.70 or $2.50. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, this is going to take me forever to get to $10 in here. So
how much for the membership?
I had to had a couple beers and then bought anybody in your family who would drink alcohol or just a Pepsi or whatever.
Right.
And then we ended up going and getting some food at the Mexican place downtown. Had a couple margaritas. So how about we
wrap up the podcast and go to the VFW?
Yeah, right. No, that's the place to be. I'm like, shit. And then we went back there afterwards and because they were still out there. So that was a good time. It was a good time Friday night.
Awesome.
Saturday.
Did they miss me?
Yeah, they did. People asked. People did ask.
My mom asked?
Yes.
Oh,
she was like, "Where's
doesn't sound
Dean?"
That's all right. I'm sure your dad has several more years. He'll be up singing and enjoying that.
Precious moments that will surely last many, many, many years.
All right, so we're moving on. You sacks of shit.
That was the most eventful thing. I finally, just cut my lawn Saturday, did some running around and stuff, doing some prepping for Mother's Day, which is coming up. But it won't be when you hear this, so you missed it. So
who are you, me?
Which is coming up. Don't forget. Thanks a lot, asshole. It was fucking yesterday.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to forget that one, too, so it's all right.
But, so that was about it, man. Just pretty much laid low and hung out with the family. I don't think we really did too much other than that. So
okay. Very nice. Yep. So moving on, we said our hellos. We all look good. Yep. At least two of us. And so now Brian, what are we moving on to?
Let's get into some idiot reviews. Have you watched or seen anything, heard anything you wish to recommend to our viewers and listeners? Dean, why don't we start with
simply that I have continued to watch. What, am I boring you? Are we moving on?
I don't care what you watch. Probably just like fucking Quantum Leap again. I don't, whatever.
It is, the season's over.
No, the 80s one or whatever. You probably watched that again. No.
Probably.
You probably did.
No, I watched, continuing with Ted Lasso. It is, again, if you're not watching it, you're dumb. It is really one of the best shows on TV. So good. I don't think I've watched any movies or anything like that. I was driving around in the work vehicle today, and I wanted to sing, right? I'm like, what?
Should have been out at the VFW on Friday. You could have done all the singing you wanted to. Your dad would have loved it.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm thinking to myself, what?
He did text me and asked about if I need another file.
First of all, I know you're lying because he doesn't know how to text. Clearly. No, I thought, like, what genre can I, like, sing to, like, continuously? So I went.
You have it, like, in public or in your car?
In the car.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not singing out in public.
Okay.
Or I would have went to the VFW. Come on.
No, you wouldn't have.
No. So I picked, when I was younger, I was a fan of country music in the 90s. Garth Brooks, Travis Tritt, and all that. And
the Tobster.
The what?
Toby Keith.
Toby Keith.
The Big Dog Daddy.
And I turned it on. So I spent like hours just belting out 90s country music today. And it was awesome.
Yeah.
I know that's not it is a recommendation. You should all go listen.
Have you ever screamed the watermelon crawl from your car? You should. I recommend it. It's fun.
Yeah.
John Deere Green?
See, you know it.
I know.
You
Yeah,
can do it.
I know the 90s.
We're gonna do
country song.
the car karaoke thing. There's a bit we're gonna do.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, go listen to 90s country. It's awesome. It just hits different.
Yeah. Speaking of listening to things, Saturday when I mowed my lawn, so with which we didn't really discuss. I didn't know if we were going to bring it up. We kind of missed it last week, but the passing of Gordon Lightfoot. I know the Edmund Fitzgerald song. Yes. I've heard it on. There was an oldie station.
I'm so used to beard catching.
Oh yeah, it's like a wet fish down there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
But after I was mowing my lawn, I finished up with some podcasts I was listening to and stuff. And
how did I sound?
Well, you weren't on. It came from Gen X, but I was seeing if maybe Skinner and Porter sounded amazing, and so did you. It was really enjoyable, so I appreciate
that.
That's
fair.
But no, I was I'm like, I know of Gordon Lightfoot more than I know his songs, other than basically that one. And like being a Canadian folk singer songwriter, I know there's many artists that I love very dearly that cite him as a inspiration and a songwriting genius and all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn on some Gordon Lightfoot. Yeah. Just let it play. You go to the Apple, you just hit play on the artist, and like whatever comes up, comes up.
Yeah, good stuff.
And so yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it was like just kind of the right
smooth
moment for it. Like I was home alone. The kids were at my mom's from the night before. Robin was out running errands. I just had. There you go.
Right here.
Actually, yeah, this is one of the. I recognize this.
Yeah.
Let's hold this as a prop there.
Sure.
So the glare doesn't catch.
That was my father's actual album.
Is that
That's
right? Very cool.
Yes.
But yeah, I know, the Edmund Fitzgerald song and stuff like that. But I turned on and it was, like I said, just got done mowing my lawn. My lawn was pristine. I had a very old man moment. My lawn was pristine. I was sitting on the porch with one earbud in, listening to the smooth stylings of Gordon Lightfoot, petting my dog.
Yeah, man. Sure.
Just a nice, it was like 70 degrees.
Yeah.
Long sleeve and shorts weather, just perfect dad cutting grass music.
That's good.
But rest in peace, Mr. Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely.
Thank you for inspiring so many artists that I love, as well as making some pretty sweet tunes yourself. So there you go. That's a nice prop.
And knowing his voice and the melodic sounds of his voice, also inspiring probably a lot of sex.
Oh sure,
I'm sure.
Yeah, that guy's sitting barefoot in what is that? A barn? Of course.
Barn with sandals.
Oh, he's got the Jesus Cruisers on.
Oh yeah, man. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you can't be that relaxed.
No.
I'm striving to be that relaxed.
You have too many podcasts for that, my friend.
That's right. In a fucking barn with a fucking iPad.
Editing that shit.
What? This is not Gordon Lightfoot shit. This is not relaxing.
Yeah.
Too many titty mates. Damn it. I can't cut all of them.
They're thirst trapping me on Instagram. I'm just trying to edit this shit. Damn it.
And then he gets distracted by his own gun. Like, oh, God. Jeez, look at these. I'm like, oh, God. Well, nobody's around. No.
Have you seen her?
Rest in peace, Mr. Lightfoot.
There you go. Very nice.
Why does that? How is that always the rest in peace ends in debauchery?
The buffet over here. Yeah.
That's how you know you made it.
Yeah. Anything else you wish to recommend?
Oh yeah. We've watched only the first few episodes, but there is a show on Hulu called Tiny Beautiful Things with Katherine Hahn. Is the lead in that? It's very good. Okay. It's a different. It's like, I mean, it really catches you in the feels. It's just all over the place. There's some really jarring things. There's some really funny things. It's just, honestly, it's like without getting too like, I don't know, sounding ridiculous, but like it's a good little snapshot of the ebbs and flows of life and the ups and downs we go through and the triumphs and the travesties and the beauty in things and the ugliness in things, and it's a really good show. She's a fantastic actress. I absolutely love her.
Very good.
Did I tell you about the chinwag? I think you were still watching the game last week. Chinwag is it's a podcast by what's his name?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Bob Hope.
Katherine Hahn.
Well, she is on it. Chinwag. It's
regularly, or was that like the feel is like a Smartless kind of thing where she was?
It is smart. She was a guest. Chinwag is
Sean Hayes.
No,
Jason Bateman.
Paul Giamatti's podcast.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And they talk about different, like maybe paranormal stuff. Like, but she was on this week talking about cults and stuff like that. And she's not. None of them are experts. It's whatever topic they're talking about. The celebrities there. It's a really good podcast.
They just shoot the shit about like whatever the topic is.
Yeah, but she was this week's
that's cool
guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What have you seen? What do you recommend? Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Are we going to talk? Is that what we're going to talk about?
We'll start there. Sure. Guardians of the Galaxy
I'm curious.
3.
No spoilers though, right?
No spoilers.
All right,
It's
I haven't
still
seen
new
it.
in the theater. Just a fine way to wrap up this trilogy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very powerful movie. You probably heard some things or saw some things online where
I
it's
have
like
purposely got away from.
Well, you see previews now. You clearly can see young Rocket Raccoon.
Yep.
Right. So you see how he came to be through the High Evolutionary, who's the main bad guy, and that guy just fucking phenomenal. By the way. So he's also in Peacemaker. He was like the good
That's
alien.
right.
Yeah,
that's right.
There's a couple people from Peacemaker that made its way into the movie, including James Gunn's actual girlfriend, the blonde.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Holland.
One of the main characters. Yeah. She has a bit part in this as well, and a few other people as well. But he was just fantastic bad guy, and a bad guy to where sometimes we think we can relate to the villain. We've talked about that on prior episodes. No, cannot relate to this guy. Just a total
dick.
Yeah,
all right.
Just wants to watch the world
he
burn.
knows he's like he perceives himself as a godlike. He knows what's best for the universe. And creating beings that's going to be perfect and so on and so forth. So that's how Rocket came to be.
I think we're going to end up doing a kind of a flashback or prequel episode on how Nick was created.
Sure, I like that.
Your mom's going to be a
We're
special
get
guest.
Scott on there. Yeah.
I don't like this.
Hold on. That's not Scott. That's Dean. What's going on?
He has a rat tail. Why? I feel like you would have a rat tail because you would have been a child.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But like I said, there's definitely emotional moments. All right, and it definitely wraps up. And this again, not a spoiler, I don't think, but it wraps up this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's not much of a secret that you know that Dave Bautista's already said he's not coming back as Drax and all that type of stuff.
Sure.
And they wrap everything up. 2 credit scenes as normal. Mid credit, very.
Are they
credit.
good? Are they
Stay
worth
for
it?
both. Yeah.
Some of them lately haven't been worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
it's like a nugget. Like, ooh, somebody might be showing up sometime.
or they're just silly, pointless.
Yeah, stay for
deals.
both.
Okay.
Stay for both. It's worth it. So, if you like the series, it was rated the lowest on the critic Rotten Tomato list of the 3 movies, but the audience score is just killing it. So people like going. So don't listen to the critics. Go see it. Check it out. But just kind of be prepared a little bit emotionally there. Another thing to be a little bit prepared emotionally is A Man Called Otto. So this is the newer Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah, how was that?
Good. It's now on Netflix.
Okay,
which I was surprised to see it there. But just again, another super solid acting job by Tom Hanks.
Sure.
Small movie.
I don't think he knows how to do it bad.
No,
you know what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah.
Like any small, big, doesn't matter. Whatever part.
Yeah.
He actually shit out of it.
99% of this movie is in this little allotment where he lives.
Yeah.
He's lived there for a long time. He's a grumpy older guy, and you quickly learn what's happened in his life to kind of make him more grumpy.
So it's like a snapshot in my life.
I mean, again, you learn this quick. I mean, it warns you. He's suicidal, so there are scenes of he is suicidal in this movie, and then he sort of befriends a new family that moves in, and it kind of goes from there.
Yeah.
And it's a tearjerker, but very, very good.
Okay.
Very, very good movie.
It's kind of like he was just like very alone for a very long time, and he just needed like human connection kind of thing.
Yeah, he kind of forgot what's important and things like that because of tragedies in his life that you learn, and it kind of walks you through all that. So
that's why Nick's back, actually. He forgot what was important in life, and he's been watching the Leafs play, and he's like all this tragedy in his life. And now he's back and in person, and he realized what's important in life.
That's right.
Human connection.
That's right.
With Ernie, my buddy that's upstairs right now. I come
you
and take care of him when you guys abandon him for days at a time.
He is... You are a rotten little man.
And then two good things on Netflix as well. Actually, a lot of good content lately.
A lot of good shit coming on
Yeah.
Netflix, too.
I've been enjoying it's just the King of Collectables on Netflix. So it's a reality series about a high profile sports memorabilia auction house.
Oh.
They also auction other things as well, but it's mainly sports memorabilia. Peyton Manning is a executive producer. He makes appearances on this. He's friends with the guy that owns Goldin, Goldin auction house, whatever. It just shows you real life stories of people coming across, or they have this ridiculous sports memorabilia collection.
So is it like the Pawn Stars, but like for the sports?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
So where it's like I have a piece and I want to make money off of it. I don't want to sell it myself. You could opt to. Thank you. You could opt to work through this consignment place, and they'll auction it for you.
Okay.
And then they'll take a commission.
Sure.
Okay, so some of it is people it's just some crazy stuff, like authentic Michael Jordan jerseys, Kobe Bryant jerseys. You see stuff like this. Wilt Chamberlain, somebody had a program of his 100-game ticket. There's all kinds of crazy stuff people have and then you also get some feel-good stories, like a kid who opens a pack of cards and finds this like crazy rare card, which is insane, and then they don't know what to do with it. They realize it's valuable, and they come in there, and it's life-changing for these people. It's like a lottery.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah.
What? $2 pack of cards, and you end up being a fucking millionaire from it?
Yeah.
Yeah. One guy, it was like he spent $50 on a pack of whatever it was, like a retro pack of cards or something like that, and opened up, it was like something insane where it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, just like that.
Crazy.
Boom. But it's like every episode. I mean, they're smart because it's it ends and they string you into the next episode. It's like 10 episodes or something like that.
Okay.
Very easy watch, a lot of fun. And then one more thing,
cool.
Unstable on Netflix as well. This is the Rob Blow, not Rob Blow, the porn star. Rob Lowe.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Yes. I mean, go watch
Good
his
series.
movies too.
Yeah,
We're not saying they're bad.
If you're inclined to see Rob Blow.
We're talking about pieces before. I mean, they
Right.
were
Rob Lowe. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Really,
You
you
can't.
know, both highly entertaining in his own right,
Yeah.
But Rob Lowe
Rob Lowe.
has a new series on Netflix that he's a producer for and stars in, where he's
With his
like
son.
is that his real son?
Yeah,
He looks
real
like
son.
him. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of more sense then. But he's like an eccentric scientist, and his wife has passed away, and
His son, Knob Blow. Sorry.
he's estranged from his son in the series. It's a comedy, and then the board of directors is trying to oust him because his company's not performing too well. Gets reconnected with his son. It's good. It's a nice feel good series, easy watch, like 10 episodes, something like that. Definitely check out Unstable.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
There it is.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is our Idiot's review.
That's
And
right.
that's what we've seen.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
AIDS. What? It hits different in person, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It felt better.
It's good.
It felt good, yeah.
That's some oomph in it.
I feel
right,
feel
so we're-
stronger now.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come back with some pop culture headlines, and then our Ask an Idiot segment.
Mm-hmm.
And then our main segment later this evening, more movie talk tonight,
Absolutely.
gentlemen. So we'll be right back.
Four.
You agreed to this.
3.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots, almost live in Barberton,
Almost
Ohio.
live.
Yes.
I think we found the name for the episode.
I like that.
That's what my dad said about my dog when it got clipped by that car when I was 8.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
Almost.
Well, that farm, did he send him to?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing great. Running around.
Yeah.
But he got ran over by a tractor.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That's... He probably would have done better if he had insurance.
Oh, he probably would.
there
That
we go.
seemed like it was planned, ladies and gentlemen,
There we
but
go.
it was not. He just did that that was really
Let
nice.
me tell
of him.
you, Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free, what? Free 5-minute quote today. And when you do, tell them that these 3 idiots sent you.
That's right. We appreciate your support of Blake Insurance Agency.
What?
We also appreciate your support of us. I mean, right now we're recording this together in person, and I don't know how rumor got out, how word escaped, but there are people lined up outside of Dean's front window just trying to catch just a snippet of what's to come this week on Convincing Idiots. So it's really
right.
I can barely hear you guys talking over.
You know
probably
better than
can't
I
hear
do.
over the
Because I can't. I use the glasses to read. It's one thing I forgot to mention. I actually this weekend went to an eye doctor appointment,
Oh, okay.
and these readers.
You don't need those. Those are fake.
Well, next week the readers will be present, but after that I will have actual glasses with bifocals.
Hey,
That's
it.
suits you so
Eat
well.
shit.
These are bifocals.
Yeah. Do you have the seamless ones?
Yeah, the no
okay.
line.
See,
Yeah.
they're starting
So,
me
yeah,
out
I
with
can't
like
tell.
like the line ones because I
Don't
mainly
do that.
Because they made you look older, and you're like, I want those ones.
no.
Don't do that.
No. I've already ordered them because like I mainly need them for reading, but like for driving for work, I can do watch the road and pick up stuff and read as needed. So and I will be able to. Because, like, that's why I only get these for readers.
Watch the road and pick up stuff and read.
Well, like, where I'm going.
Don't you use wow, you are old. You don't even use a fucking GPS?
No, but I'm
It'll
saying...
give you turn-by-turn directions.
No, it does. I use that.
Is that why you need the bifocal? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
well,
for
the
reading.
no line is still the same effect,
I'm just telling you what she gave. That's what they gave me.
Get out the MapQuest directions from the glove box on the internet.
I get the fucking Rand McNally, and I'm looking, and I'm like, where are you at here? I think I'm going fucking north.
Listen,
Where are we going?
this man here is in the most hurry to want to get old. It's not even a joke.
It's a sprint. If he could, but he fears that would make him look too youthful. So, metaphorically, he is sprinting towards being
You know how
old.
my back is hurt right now?
Get the bifocals. He longs for the gray, white beard I have. I can't wait.
No,
I'm like,
no.
why can't you wait?
He knows how
Spend-
handsome he is with the gray beard, and he's like, you know what? I don't want to show up with that. You keep your fucking black beard.
Take your time, man.
No,
Take your
I
time.
played baseball with the kids this weekend. And I'm in the kind of the outfield or whatever, sprinting and like diving for balls. Yeah, I'm hurting. I mean,
Which usually he does on break of the podcast.
Only time you can get him move, sprint for balls. About it.
I'm about to sprint for balls right now. I tell you,
That's right.
You two handsome motherfuckers.
That's right. All right, so I'm looking at shows and movies. This is early May, so earlier May 11th, Thursday, May 11th. Mother's Day is this coming weekend.
May, who is she?
Yep, that's right.
But don't worry, if you're hearing this, Mother's Day, you missed it.
Already in the past.
It's gone.
You didn't call your mother, you motherfucker.
A few things caught my eye, and you guys certainly can share if there's anything that's coming out in May, show or movie-wise, that you're
I
interested
think Nick's
in.
coming out.
I'm interested to see Bupkis. This is the new Pete Davidson series with...
Oh yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, with...
Actors and actresses.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Pete
Joe Pesci's
Davidson
in this.
is playing himself
No,
in
Joe
this.
Pesci plays his dad in this, so it's like a based on his life story on Peacock, and that started on May 4th.
Well, it's not based on his life. He's playing. It's almost like a Larry David.
Okay.
He's playing a version of himself because his dad obviously wouldn't be in the series.
Okay. That's true. Right. His dad is killed. Was he killed
9/11?
9/11?
Yes.
That's right. In real life. Yeah. That's terrible. There's a Michael J. Fox movie, like a documentary on Apple TV.
Yeah.
Called Still. That debuts Friday, May 12th. So this weekend. Tomorrow. Actually. So it's a documentary, archival, and scripted elements.
I think Dean wants to say something.
Shit. I don't say nothing. I'm listening to Brian. He's telling us about
don't make fun of Michael J. Fox.
I'm not making anybody. I'm drinking beer. I'm listening to you.
Okay. All right. I didn't realize this. Now there's a Gremlins series.
You're a horrible person.
On HBO Max. May 23rd.
Oh, is it animated? Right.
Gremlins: Secrets of the Mogwai.
Mogwai.
Excuse me. And Steven Spielberg is involved and stuff. It's a sequel reboot of Gremlins. I don't know if it's animated or not.
From what I had understood when they started like a couple years ago, it was going to be animated. I don't know if it is now, but it was going to be.
That makes sense. A movie that's making a lot of social
Gremlins was a movie made in the 80s about little monsters who terrorized
Well, you know what he knows. His dog's named after Gizmo. Yeah.
Well, his old wife, she named him.
I'm familiar with the 80s, like Back to the Future.
My wife.
Michael J. Fox. Yeah, right.
The Little Mermaid, the Little Mermaid live action movies making a lot of social media buzz.
We saw the trailer for that before Return of the Jedi. It looks pretty good.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see it. We're going to take the kids.
Friday, May 26th. Yeah, that looks really good. Being Mary Tyler Moore, so it's a documentary. I'm interested in this. I just saw the HBO Max and also on the May 26th. Mary Tyler Moore, I think she's a terrific talent on television. Certainly a pioneer for women in television. It's a documentary about her. I think that'll be interesting. That's the main stuff I saw this month. Of course, on Guardians is where he talked about was this past month. Anything that's coming out this month you guys are interested in that you've caught?
When is the new Indiana Jones movie coming out?
I think that's in June.
Is that June? Okay.
Yeah, for sure we'll see that.
Because I think we are going to see. I don't know if you're coming. You decided to come with us, but the Fathom Entertainment. They're putting out in the theaters for 2 nights. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think we're going to go see it. I know the kids are excited to see it.
Yes, fabulous movie, and it may be one of the movies in that shaped our childhood. That's going to be our main segment this evening. Is
look at
movies that shaped our childhood.
Getting professional.
I thought he'd never pick up on our segues, but he's done it.
Right?
Good job.
Man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Good job.
Movie that
he's not used to segues. He's normally on a rascal.
That's right. That's right. Whenever you want to get on a bike, get on. Whenever you want to get on a bike, get on the trail. We'll see if you can keep up.
You mean real exercise?
A movie that has been announced. Fine, there's been speculation.
Can I say what I'm excited for?
Please. Sorry, please.
Fubar comes out this month.
Oh yeah,
the Arnold Schwarzenegger show.
I'm so sorry. Yes.
It looks awesome. I'm excited. The original trailer that I saw looked kind of like very like meat and potatoes, kind of like okay, it's an interesting plot, whatever. It's fine. But I was watching something that Arnold posted on his Instagram, a little snippet of the show where he and his daughter are in their direct supervisor's office, and the FBI or whatever they're in, and he gives them puppets of one another, and as an exercise tries to get them to bury some of their issues by.
It looks like a good show.
He is his daughter's puppet, and they're trying to talk as the other one, and then they just turn around and start just ripping each other for stuff, and it looked pretty funny. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, is that
obviously just love Arnold anyway?
When is the documentary coming out?
That's June 7th, I think it is.
Okay.
Netflix is going to have a documentary series about Arnold Schwarzenegger's life.
Did you see that? Did you see
the
the newest preview where he talks about like Jingle All the Way was like his least favorite movie?
I know that didn't happen. It ain't happened like that. There's one part in the trailer where he's like,
I'm ashamed of 2 things.
there is one
not in this order.
There is one
the
part.
Affair
and a child with my maid, and Jingle All the Way.
In the trailer, yeah, where he goes, you know, people will remember me for my successes, but also for my failures. And then he's like, you know, doing all this.
And then it shows a picture of Jingle All the Way.
I should have immediately hung up the phone on Sinbad. The second he called me, I should have said, not today, not in here, we're not doing this. These little one-off Christmas comedies, they're not good for your resume.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
No,
Yep.
I don't think that's gonna.
Okay, well,
I'm not gonna talk about the box office smash that was Jingle All the Way, the cultural phenomenon that was Jingle All the Way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we'll just have to.
I'm actually curious to see if it's brought up at any point. Like if Jingle All the Way is mentioned in this.
It's in one of the.
I doubt it.
We get into comedies, and that was a strange time for him. But yeah,
you know, they're going to do a post-credit scene where the director's like, "So what about Jingle All the Way?" He goes, "But Jingle All the Way. What was that? Oh, I was in that. Okay, that was fine.
It's a Christmas song. No, it was a movie you were in. I did a lot of movies. I don't remember all of them. Yeah.
Sinbad. No, it doesn't ring a bell. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yes.
A genie was in a movie with a boombox?
Yeah.
No, it's a Mandela. It's actually Shaq. It's a whole thing. No, he was never in a boombox genie movie. Never mind.
Yes, he was.
Anything else? Anything else this month you're looking forward to?
I personally am. I don't know if it's been announced yet. Or if it is in fact going to actually make it to production, but I'm excited to see the Toronto Maple Leafs in the next round of the playoffs. I really hope it happens. I don't know that it will.
It's a to be determined.
That would be at the end of May, if at all possible. So we'll see. But that's the only other thing I'm really holding out hope for. Other than that,
fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so I apologize. I didn't ask for your what you were looking forward to. There is a movie that's been a rumor in development for a long time, that is finally officially announced, a sequel to a huge movie in the late 80s.
They already did the sequel.
I know.
Beetlejuice 2 is now officially
Oh, is that with what's her face? The Gomez?
Winona Ryder, right? She's going to be.
Winona
She's
Ryder
part of it.
comes back as Lydia Dietz. Jenna Ortega plays her daughter.
That's what I meant.
Be still my heart.
And Michael Keaton will return as Beetlejuice. So
Tell me, no, forget about it. Tell
Michael
me more
Keaton's
about
doing the
Jenna
reunion
Ortega.
tour. He's like, I'm going to do Batman again. I'm going to do Beetlejuice again. Yeah.
Tell me more about Jenna Ortega.
I hear she's a bitch.
You watch your mouth. You
Jenna
don't
Ortega
get to
happens
talk.
to be younger than my daughter, which is true. But yeah.
Don't put me in that position.
Wouldn't be fair not to. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned multiple
I just
times.
mentioned
She's like 15.
She's not 50. She's like 21, 22,
She just
23,
looks 15,
24.
right?
Yep.
No, she doesn't look 15. Have you seen some of these pictures? She is a beautiful young woman.
Yep.
She is not a child. She is not a teenager. She is a beautiful young woman.
That's true. That
and
is true.
you
I'm also a beautiful young woman.
you are.
So September 6th,
same,
mark your calendar, Dean.
Well,
Now you
they're firm.
Thanks. Go ahead, touch it.
Oh, that's
So Dean failed to you failed to
normally.
put in the calendar of your father singing this past weekend. So
no,
don't forget
you
to put in your
know,
calendar
that's-
September 6th.
He won't forget about 15-year-old Jenna
20,
Ortega on the
24.
screen.
That's right.
But he'll, his lovely father,
That's
who has a
right.
wonderful voice,
Yep.
and lives for nothing but to perform for his children in person.
My father does
Three
not-
quarters of them saw.
First of all, my father does not have those lips. Maybe if his were pouty and full, maybe I'd go see him sing.
All right, we had a huge news and pop culture event last weekend. I want to get your take on the coronation of King Charles III and Queen Camilla. So,
Yeah, we just start playing games on
No,
our
I have
phones.
someone to show you. Oh, did I delete it? No. I can find it. So yeah, real quick, I'm just going to show this to you guys.
Okay.
And then I'll explain it to everyone else. I found
We're in
this
America,
picture.
right?
It's a picture.
I have a.
I'm describing it to you, and it's an official portrait
A king and
of
queen.
Charles III and Camilla, and it's a picture of them. And if anyone's seen it, they'll be familiar. The comment below it from someone on Twitter says they look like the front of a Party City costume pack. Because I mean, that's no point in showing it, but look it up, and it's quite funny because it is very incredibly regal.
Yeah.
Almost
Have you read
costumish. Yes.
Read about the crowns when you get around to it. Just the jewels in those crowns is ridiculous.
I'd rather
It's like
pull
so
up his
many
pant
diamonds
leg right now and look at
emeralds.
his jewels.
Well, yes, but that's not an indictment of how you actually feel about looking at those jewels. You would choose that over anything other than Jenna Ortega.
And that's close. That's close. It's a toss up.
All right, so is the coronation, is it interesting to you?
No.
Or from a historical perspective, is it ridiculous?
Ridiculous.
Why is that? Go ahead.
It's the same as any sort of. Not our country, and I'm not being like
Xenophobic?
right. It's more
Usually he is, but maybe not.
right.
this time.
Not this
You have
time.
about 1% of listens in the United Kingdom, so
No,
just be careful.
It's not careful.
For our
It's the
listener
idea-
base, that's quite a bit. We can't afford to lose 1%.
It's more of the idea that I don't see like we don't understand the monarchy because of where we live.
Yeah.
And we are pompous Americans. So we don't go out of our way to like learn about stuff like that. So it's not it's not taught to us, right?
Yeah.
And it's really just rich people showing off, really. If there was a ceremony like that for like celebrities here, the Oscars I turn off because it's just rich people celebrating each other.
Is it on par with the inauguration, or is
No,
that,
because it's a different figurehead. Now, if you would show the presentation or whatever of the prime minister,
yeah, that
that's
actually has
different.
real power,
right?
Yeah.
That's a political thing going on.
Yeah.
The king and queen is a figurehead type deal. Just rich people showing off rich people. I could care less.
Okay.
So it's not about country versus country. It's just rich people showing off.
Yeah. Nick, what do you think?
Well, speaking as a Canadian, I am more cultured than the Americans, but so it's a little different. No, I agree. I
Born in Boise, Idaho.
I don't understand. I don't quite understand the fascination with the royal wedding and the.
Right.
I guess it's fine if whatever. If you want to pay attention to it, that's fine. I don't understand the whole big to do with paying attention to it. And even when you mentioned, is it like the inauguration? I'm like, oh, I never thought of it like that. But at the same time, I'm thinking from another country, I don't give a fuck about the presidential inauguration either. Like, if that's not my country, I don't care. Like, I understand it's there's a level of importance and it's notable news, but reading about it online is this. I can do that, and that's now I know this information.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
tell me
I guess
he became king. Show me the picture.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching.
I guess I just
right?
don't understand the fascination if it's that people. What's the word I'm looking for? If they kind of not idolize, but I don't know, hold the
In regard?
their culture in a certain light, or kind of put it on a pedestal, romanticize it. I guess is
There you
what
go.
I was looking
That's
for.
it.
I don't know, but I find it odd. Like, I just don't know why I don't need to watch their parades and see that, it's nothing against, anything in the UK, English culture, nothing like that. It's fantastic. It's great. It's fine. It's whatever, but I don't know why people care, I guess.
And just to let everybody know, the 1% that is listening in the UK, given any opportunity of any country to go visit, London, England, city-wise, and hell, country-wise, England itself is my first choice.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing. I mean, it'd be a great place to visit. Nothing negative about it. I don't understand what the effects would be to like why I need to, I don't know.
But I mean, you have all these people even here, just touting celebrities and all these interview shows and stuff. Until we get big enough to become celebrities ourselves, I don't care. But when we do, I want you guys to tout over us like that.
Right, I do expect that.
I will change my opinion wholeheartedly at
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah. What about you, Brian? Any interest in the coronation, any of that stuff?
Not really. I mean, it's a historical tradition, So from that perspective, it is interesting. And the other interesting here is it was obviously he was and is he had to wait the longest,
Right. She served
because his mom lived so long, and Queen Elizabeth lived
Wouldn't
so long and
fucking
served.
Well,
Just
they
like-
also I don't report it, but I'm pretty sure that they just needed another season of The Crown on Netflix.
Yeah.
And when they do the reenactment or the actors, whatever, he's going to be portrayed by a potato.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought for sure a Weekend at Bernie's joke was coming in this. Caught me off guard there.
And some people over there have commented that in their lifetime was how Queen Elizabeth lived so long, bless her heart. They're never going to see this again. They're never going to witness another. Well, maybe, but not likely.
He's pretty old.
But I don't know. But it depends what age you are. So there's plenty of people
Those ears, the
that may
wind picks
not
up.
live to see another.
So is it Harry
coronation.
after him, or not Harry, but Charles?
He is Charles.
Who's after him?
It's not Harry. Who's the older
William.
older son? William.
That's who I was. Okay, I couldn't remember. I thought.
Who
Yeah,
looks
okay, this is Charles, right?
pretty much the same age. I mean, he's the kid's looking a little old there. That's all I'm saying. I mean, good for him. God bless
Quite the
him.
dashing brute.
No, if that's what I would call it. Okay, all right. Well,
Well, I thought with someone with such an affinity of getting old so soon, you'd appreciate it.
I don't want to get old soon. I just respect the process.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
It's
fair
it's
enough.
not my fault. You guys are afraid of it.
Yeah.
I respect and embrace the equity that you build in life.
I think Dean wants people to respect him, and he thinks if he gets old, it'll happen automatically.
Yeah.
Trust me,
And
I know. No, nothing is going to make
I don't
people
have to
fucking
act
gonna go
respect
get some
me.
differently
respect.
or treat people any differently. Just get older and then automatic respect.
And then when I
Once they
scream,
get-
"Get off my lawn!" they'll just do it.
Oh, he's got a great beard. We should go.
there is if you do want to smile, look up there. There's pictures
Nick's
of his
shorts.
Charles's grandson. So
I did see a
that's
couple of those
cute.
pictures.
It's
He could care
all
less.
that pageantry.
Right.
At the end of the day, for him,
It's just
he's just
a
a little kid who's
toddler,
bored. He's like yawning, laughing, just
What
little
Nick
kid stuff.
does on this podcast. Making faces, yawning,
Yes,
tugging on his pecker.
that's right. That's right.
Is that how you tug on your pecker?
I slap at it. Yeah, slap at it. Try it. That's fun.
Oh, no, that-
Watch the angle you come in.
Yeah, I
at.
can't. I
You gotta
came
go
straight
from up
on.
top.
I messed
Yeah,
up.
it's all about the
That didn't
angles.
feel good.
Yeah.
All right, maybe you teach me how to rub it later. Brian, what else do we
I don't know if this
Maybe
is
if the thing over top covered up more, you'd hit it less ricochet.
Well, I'm a boy. I don't have a hood.
All right, so CNN had a town hall last night. No, I'm joking. We're not talking about that. I'm kidding.
We're not.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
So this is I caught this today.
let's talk more about slapping each other's balls.
Yeah.
It actually is more
Be
interesting.
more interesting, yeah. Teens should be trained in media literacy and limit their screen time, psychologists say in new guidelines. So I guess there's some bipartisan efforts out there to try to put limitations on children's ages to get into for social media, that they'll need some type of parental approvals. I think it's under 13, if I caught that correctly. Yeah, you have to be at least 13 years of age. A bipartisan group of senators introduced legislation that would require social media users to be at least 13 years old and mandate parental consent for users ages 13 to 17
Okay.
for social media because of how damaging it could be and blah, 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 blah. So,
May I?
yes, should the government get involved
No.
here, or should parents teach their kids? Or I understand it's hard to monitor, very difficult. But go ahead.
There are so many different things going on in this country and in this world to fucking worry about than for these old shit stains in Washington to tell parents how to parent. Do your fucking job. There's so many different things that are on your plate that you're choosing to ignore so you can tell people how to live their lives. Fuck you. Do your job. Let parents do theirs. Whether my opinion on a child should watch for this long or that long doesn't matter. That's not the point.
Well, that's actually why the people in UK tune in. They're looking for parental advice.
Right. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That
come to the wrong show.
No, but you're right. That's the equivalent. These old guys in Washington telling American parents how to parent their children is like somebody coming to us and listening to us on fucking advice.
Fair enough.
It's the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Parent your goddamn kids the way you want to. That's what I got.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick?
I disagree wholeheartedly. I think it's a brilliant idea because what I agree with what you're saying, and from what I understand, even though there may be that's an age restriction for someone to sign up on their own, is it not?
I believe
you said without parental consent.
Correct.
So I like that a lot because the thing is, and I get what you're saying, and I do agree with it in a sense, but I'm thinking of that in a way of us and our kids. I'm thinking of kids that don't have parental guidance, people looking out for them, and that are on.
I don't care about those kids.
There's a lot of kids, and I'd say it's a growing number all the time. I mean, just having my wife that works in the schools, you hear a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Maybe they should be born in better families.
The types of things they go home to, what they're not getting at home. Maybe that they're left to their own devices. Maybe that they don't often see an adult when they go home. I mean, at very young ages.
Yeah.
I think it's very.
I don't see an adult right now.
I think it's very important to put things like that in place because there's a lot of shit out there, and there's very few restrictions on it, and kids are already growing up faster and faster all the time, and I think it can be damaging to kids. I mean, as far as the types of things that they can see, the types of things they can get into without having any guidance or proper guidance.
You make a good point.
I do.
Okay.
From my aspect, if somebody was like, hey, even though you say it's okay for your 11-year-old to get on social media, the government says they can't because they're 13, I don't like that.
Correct.
But if they have my consent as an adult and they can verify who I am,
okay,
absolutely.
If that is the case, you make a good point.
Yeah.
You've convinced me. If that is the case, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yes. What you had said about kids that don't have parental guidance. I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of parents too that you raise a good point. I mean, you're right. You got a parent.
Yeah.
This, I think, it sounds like it puts a little bit of guardrails on this a little bit to help you, hopefully, if you're paying fucking attention to where your kid says, hey, I'm trying to get on TikTok, and you might be like, hey, wait. How are you able to find this and get on there to begin with? I've heard, there's some parents don't even know what it is.
Right.
I guarantee.
And there's a lot of great stuff on TikTok. Funny stuff, encouraging stuff, positive stuff. There's a lot, just on anywhere on the internet. There's a lot of great stuff.
We're on TikTok.
There's a lot of shitty things on TikTok too. Great segue.
At Convincing Idiots.
But there's a lot of positivity out there. There's a lot of people doing things. I mean, spreading. I mean, even right now, we've talked about the Arnold Schwarzenegger podcast. That's his positive corner of the internet, as he calls it.
Sometimes
10 minutes a day.
Nick gets out there and spreads
AIDS. We're not Arnold for many reasons. We're not the positive corner of the internet. But no, I mean, there's a lot of good things, and there's just little tidbits that can give somebody motivation, make people lead a healthier lifestyle. I mean, hell, we talk every week about friends of ours that can lead you to a healthier lifestyle by getting out there on a bike. Yes. And sometimes if you want to take a break, maybe you just need an electric bike, maybe something like that. Our friends at RPM Bike Shop are a very positive place on the internet. And you might want to know how you could get there.
Please tell me.
And I could just simply tell you, if you're on Facebook right now and you're watching this stream on there, you could go to the search bar and just search RPM Bike Shop. That's a very positive place to go. If you need another positive option, their website is rpmbikeshop.com. Sometimes, you need some real human interaction. I see Dean's already prepared. He's ready to go.
That's right.
You can also just give him a ring. Make a personal connection with someone at RPM Bike Shop today. Speak to one of their lovely associates at RPM Bike Shop. 330-8. That's them right there. Look at the tires.
I
on
can
that
buy that?
motherfucker. You can. You can have that for the right price. 330-808-7792 is the number that you call. They are located in Carrollton, Ohio. So if you see something you like and you want to go check it out for yourself in person, they're not far from here where we are in northeastern Ohio area. RPM Bike Shop. Check them out today for your own slice of positivity and hit the trails today on your very own electric bike from RPM Bike Shop. Lots of positivity.
Fabulous.
I don't. All right. This reads over. Bit's
Yeah.
done. That's bad. That's a bad
It is.
bike.
It's sick, man. I love it.
Nice,
Yeah.
They have good stuff there.
Yeah.
I've
very
seen them
cool.
firsthand.
Yeah, that's fucking
I'm going to put my
awesome.
dog on the back of that one.
Beautiful
Take Gizmo for a
family
ride.
owned.
I'm gonna kick the dog off and ride on the back with you. My arms around you, with my mustache tickling the back of your neck.
The family dogs.
Dude, look at that one.
The family dogs.
That's a
it's not joke.
badass bike.
Mac and Cheese are the two dog names.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
How
nice.
can I support a family who names dog Mac?
Right.
Come on,
Fucking
man.
brilliant, man.
Come on.
Brilliant.
Okay. Some big news this week, you guys, too, and this will get us into our Ask an Idiot question of the week. Now, we're in the Northeast Ohio area.
Not far from RPM Bike Shop.
That's right. Lovely Barberton, Ohio. And we're about 30 minutes or so south of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Give or take 40 minutes,
give or
something like
take.
that. Yeah.
Depends on how fast you go.
Yeah.
How old you are
45
when you
minutes,
drive?
whatever.
How quick your electric bike's moving that ass.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Get that shit moving.
One of the key attractions up there is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And if Ryan's up there, his arms.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Someday they'll be in a case up there or something like that, perhaps.
Yeah.
You
Not
know,
even
I don't
case.
know.
Like he's donating. They're gonna cut them off
That's
and put them in a case.
Yeah. Along with his rock and roll bulge of fame.
What?
I don't know. It sounds like
right.
a good thing
It's
to display.
It's a new wing. It's a new wing
a new
we're putting
wing.
in up there. Yeah.
He goes Batwing.
It's like Mick Jagger, me,
Mm-hmm.
Prince. I don't know. It's still in development. So the inductees this year, I'm just going to read them real quick here. So in the performer category, this is just announced on May the 3rd, recently here, last week. Kate Bush, Sheryl Crow, Missy Elliott, George Michael, Willie Nelson, Rage Against the Machine, The Spinners. That's performer category. The Musical Influence Award, DJ Kool Herc, Link Ray.
Oh.
Musical Excellence Award, Shaka Khan, Al Cooper, and Bernie Taupin.
That's my favorite one.
And the Amit Erdogan Award, so I think it's like contributor to music, Don Cornelius from the Soul Train fame.
Yeah. He'll be kind of next to like some of the DJs from like the 50s and whatnot.
Right. So that's it. So one group that I did not get in, that was nominated a few times, is Iron
Convincing
Maiden.
Idiots.
Well,
Sons of
we did
bitches.
not get in either. All kinds of talk around at Rock Hall that people get in that aren't necessarily rock artists. Really, it's become more of
It's a music hall of fame.
music,
Which
music
is fair.
Hall of
I'm
Fame.
okay with that.
Yeah, but it's just, but
Here's my thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't.
No, you go ahead.
If
Go
I
ahead.
may interject.
Please.
I didn't hear a name on that list that I was like, absolutely, what the fuck? You can't induct them. At the same time, I'm hearing names and I'm like, when you put it into perspective, okay, like there are certainly well-deserving names on that list, but I hear, and this is no disrespect to Sheryl Crow, but are we seriously putting Sheryl Crow in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before fucking Iron Maiden?
That's
That's
the
insane to say out loud, is it not? I don't care
Yes.
if you don't like metal music or you prefer like, can we not agree that look, there's certain ones that go in first ballot no matter what, right?
Yes.
I don't care if
We talked about
Nirvana
it
came
before.
around later.
Ozzy Osbourne himself isn't in there.
Right.
No.
I don't care
Bullshit.
if like let's say Nirvana or Notorious B.I.G. came along much later. Those are first ballot Hall of Famers. The cultural impact. Those go in no matter what. I get it. Again, this is no disrespect to Sheryl Crow or anybody else, but like Willie Nelson, I get it. He has been around for. I'm surprised to hear that he's now being inducted. I didn't know Willie Nelson feels like somebody who should just be in there.
Willie Nelson should be in like the World or Life Hall of Fame.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just because he's
Like,
lived
I'm not
most-
even like I couldn't give you a Willie Nelson song off the top of my head. I know who he is. I know he smokes weed and he has braids. I know what he looks like. And I know who he is. But like, and I'm not a fan, but I'm just saying, like, Willie Nelson is culturally, and certainly, even though he's not my cup of tea, I don't know, much musically that I could tell you right now. But like,
By the way, coming on tour, the Outlaw Music Festival coming around with Willie Nelson and a lot of different bands sounds like a great concert to go to.
okay.
Quick interjection. Quick interjection.
We'll talk off air.
This is,
that
and
actually might be something.
by the time this hits your ears, it will still be concert week on Live Nation.
But not
Yeah,
Mother's
25
Day.
Select
25
concerts.
bucks.
I spent like
Not Mother's
$150 on concerts yesterday. So.
Let's talk about that offline
Yeah.
too. There's a couple I want to see.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. So that's,
Yep.
that's our
Anyway,
But no, great. That leads perfectly into
Again,
our
Sheryl
question.
Crow's getting inducted at the same time as Willie Nelson, and then we've got Ozzy Osbourne and Iron Maiden aren't fucking in it. Like what?
Yeah, so that has created a lot of buzz on social media and otherwise with Iron Maiden, to a point where Bruce Dickinson recently acknowledged the fact, his appreciation of people speaking out that they're not in there. So, so that's our Ask the Idiot question of the week. Now, hard rock and metal bands, right? There's a lot that aren't in there. Obviously, we talked about Iron Maiden. Other bands of note, there's plenty.
Okay.
Okay,
Give us a few.
Like Ozzy, we mentioned already. Foreigner, Motorhead, Styx,
I want to know
Boston,
love is.
Thin Lizzy, REO Speedwagon, Pantera, Dio,
What?
Motley Crue, Jethro Tull, Sammy Hagar, Jay Giles Band, Eddie Money, Misfits, Alice in Chains, Smashing Pumpkins. There's plenty of, again, you can argue even with some of that group there, but there's plenty of bands that have a ton of influence. Slayer's not in there, which I think is ridiculous.
That is
Correct.
ridiculous.
Right? So, what needs to happen? It's a hard question to answer because it's all opinion.
Right. Do we know? Was there a criteria? Is there like certain things, their boxes they're checking, or what they're
I
looking
don't know
for?
exactly. I mean,
I think
some
only-
of it is to be eligible. It's like 20, 25 years since your
Correct.
first album, so that's
Yes.
the start. Okay, but then from there, that's the question: who knows? So there's different panels out there that nominates people, and then I know there's a fan poll. So I think George Michael won the fan poll, if I'm not mistaken. So he puts, I don't know if that gets him in automatically or something, but there's all these opinions and things, and that okay. And it's so hard to have a perfect system, of course, in anything.
Sure.
But
Any of those.
what is the
Hall of
answer?
Fames have
Do they
flaws.
need to really start branching out and saying, okay, listen, we got to start to get at least maybe bring in some people who are more knowledgeable and can more effectively make a case for hard rock and metal bands to say, I hear what you're saying with Sheryl Crow, for instance, and again, no disrespect to Sheryl
Sheryl Crow's
Crow,
fantastic.
but allow me to speak for Iron Maiden in a more, I have a more argument here because I can speak to their influence and sales and everything else. It seems like it's not, the hard rock and metal definitely is not effectively represented in this process.
Is it not fair to say, I don't think there would be anything wrong with having a percentage of the vote being a fan poll? Because are we not talking about cultural impact?
There is a fan poll.
There is a fan poll that
There
can
is
get...
yeah, I don't, but again, I don't
But they
know
get
if-
him into like that kind of their nomination, right?
All
I
right.
mean, like
So-
all the nominees you can vote as a fan.
May I?
Go ahead, Dean, please.
Top 5 artists as selected by the public will comprise a fan ballot.
Okay.
That will be tallied along with the other ballots chosen for the inductees. Fans will need to log in and vote, like you said, the
On
fan ballot.
Rock site, yeah.
And then it says, well, that's kind of where telling you how to vote
Okay.
for the fan.
Okay.
And for this, musicians become eligible for induction into the Hall of Fame 25 years after the release of their first album.
Okay.
The foundation's nominating committee, made up of rock historians, select nominees each year in the performer category, who are then voted upon by the internal body of some 500 rock experts.
Rock expert.
What constitutes a rock expert? I don't know.
It seems,
Dwayne Johnson,
of course.
Nicolas Cage, and Sean Connery that were in that movie.
They were in the rock. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Absolutely.
Sylvester Stallone played a rock.
Yeah.
One time in my 20s, I got rock hard. Should I be?
Just one time?
Oh,
Yep.
Just once.
Yep. One
All
other time,
downhill
and
from there.
your son was born after
Of the
that.
one time?
Yep.
No, he was on the downslide. That's why he's short.
So 500. Okay. So so like, sort of back to your. So what is the do they need to have, like you said, do they need to have people who are. They have to have a more diverse or more special, not diverse, more specialized nomination.
I think they need to narrow it
committee.
down.
Make no mistake, just
500
because
is a lot.
these people are,
Yeah.
we're thinking rock experts, well, their suits are these people are still probably a lot of people that were record executives, people that signed bands like Iron Maiden, and so I'm like, I don't know that they're narrow-minded and they just don't like heavy music or whatever, but I'm kind of baffled. I don't know.
What I read there, I can't say for sure because I didn't read, I can't read that much. But what if, like, the majority of them, it got mixed up in, like, emails, and it was, like, a lot of geologists. And they don't like rock music. They don't like hard, heavy music. Because geologists
None of these
normally-
bands relate to Gemstone.
Right. That's probably what it is.
It's a good point.
But maybe that's the answer. Like you said, maybe that's the answer. Like you have people that are more specialized, and maybe just kind of make sure that the panel has some type of
She actually says you're more
specialization. I'm more folk rock. This guy's more classic rock.
I'm a little bit country. He's a little bit rock
I
and
don't know,
roll.
man. It just doesn't
Okay.
make any sense. And
So
Iron Man's one, but again, Dio's another one for me. That guy's one of the greatest vocalists in rock history.
Do they have a criteria of genres like you said? Okay, so
I don't think so.
you guys are going to scoff at this, but WWE wrestling has a Hall of Fame, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And each year,
You know what? Ozzy Osbourne, I read it. He got in the fucking WWE.
yeah, he's
Hall of
in
Fame.
the WWE Hall of Fame.
You can't get in the
Absolutely.
goddamn Rock Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
yeah.
Is that
He's
because
in
he's not in the rock? Why is that?
He was in WrestleMania 2. He was part of announcing, or like, yeah, he was part of the whole.
Because that would be
spectacle.
hilarious if they were like, you know what? Just because he deserves in a Hall of Fame, we're going to induct him in the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
No, like he's gone. He's hosted Monday Night Raw. He's been part of wrestling for like off and on for like a lot of years. That's why he got in. But
Insane.
each year they do like an older person, a dead person, a woman. You know what I mean? They have like they match the criteria each year. Why doesn't the Rock Hall do the same?
I let in 2 dead people every year because there's 4 more of those.
No, but
Honestly, it's some.
they might. You know what I mean? Like the criteria there.
Like the Pro Football Hall of Fame does some of that too
Rock,
anymore. They separated.
R&B.
You're going to have. We're always going to nominate people from the past.
Right.
They have a separate category for that now to make sure
Like
that
a Legends.
Yeah.
thing,
yeah, that people from the past still they're going to find a way to pick some. That's great. They should do stuff like that. So
That's
maybe
what I'm
that's
saying.
the answer. Yeah, we're going to categorize bands as hard rock, metal,
Yep.
this, that, and the other. And every year,
And then
But then that starts.
No.
They're not metal. This is metal. And that's not folk. This is pop rock. And they were at that time.
but
that
you're
they
going
came out,
to
they were
get more in there though.
right, you're gonna get Slayer is going to be in there sometime.
right.
Yeah.
Might not be this year, but you know that he's on the list.
Right.
Yeah. He, they, whatever.
Raymond Slayer, you'll get in there one day. We believe in you.
Yeah.
That's why it's called
from Nova Scotia, I
Raymond
think.
Blood. Raymond Slayer. Raymond Blood.
Keep it up.
I like that. Yeah. All right. It's a tough question to answer, but I
Raymond
think
Slayer is my favorite hard rock band. I don't know if you guys knew
I do
this.
like that. You ever have an acoustic band that plays Slayer? That's going to be the name
Raymond
of the band.
Slayer,
Raymond
yeah.
Slayer.
Well, I'm learning the
like
acoustic
it.
guitar. I like it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Stay tuned. Dean may or may not play 3 notes before the end of this podcast.
Actually, on that note, you mentioned Link Ray. Link Ray is who, when I was taking guitar lessons, that was the first little bit of music I was given was some Link Ray songs to try to pick at the guitar and stuff
Wow.
like that. So,
It all comes around, folks.
They actually just told me to stop it.
Yeah.
Can I get some Link Ray music? No, just put it down and the door's there. That's good. You can link your way to the fucking parking lot.
If you wish to comment on how can the Rock Hall better support hard rock and metal,
Induct Slayer and Iron Maiden.
right,
we solved it.
Right, that would be a great place to start. Absolutely.
And those two are great bands, but fucking Ozzy Osbourne alone, jeez, put him in.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's dumb.
You just need 1 year where it's just Ozzy, 4 hours of
nobody else gets in.
Right, sure. Yeah, just and then in the induction ceremony, you have like all these bands just playing his music, and then I want a 2-hour event of Ozzy Osbourne just acceptance speech.
I like it.
Well, it'll take that long probably.
I'm okay with it. I'm on board.
I love it. All right, so we're going to take a break here, guys. We're going to come back with our main topic this evening. Movies. I saw a question on Twitter. Very good question. Movies that shaped our childhood.
Nice.
Childhood is going to be, like kid to like young teenager year or something like that. So 4 to 5 movies or so.
And look for Brian to talk about the silent picture era.
Sure. That's right. That's right. That movie with a guy with a house falls in a window or something, you've seen that clip.
It shaped his life.
You've seen that clip.
And then the talkies ruined it.
That's right. That's right. Little Rascals and so forth. Yeah. Yep. So we'll talk about that after the break.
What are you doing, Dad?
Capturing the beauties of nature, son.
You can draw fabulous pictures. You can even play music. Rescue your family from boredom this Christmas with the Commodore Computer Compendium.
The Commodore 64 home computer has an unusually large memory. Remember? It also has all the peripherals you're ever likely to need. Monitors, plotters, printers, disk drives, and a vast range of software. Which means you'll get so much more enjoyment out of your home computer. The Commodore 64. Remember the enormous memory, but don't forget the peripherals and software.
Back in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Nice. You know what else is nice? The three of us being together and back for the third and final segment of this week's episode of Convincing Idiots. Welcome back, Millennial Nick, along here with my bro hosts with strong, broad shoulders that I can feel in person in my hands. I can feel it in my plums.
At least one.
With Gen X.
One's a little more bony.
One's a little mushier than the other, but one definitely goes to the gym. Gen X Brian is here, along with Zennial Dean. We are back for segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots, and we appreciate you joining us and giving us your time. So, guys, we've been friends for a long time.
We have.
Long time. Experienced a lot of the same things together, but sadly, our relationships don't go back all the way to the beginning, things that molded us in our childhood. Quite frankly, we couldn't be friends with Brian when we were children because it would be very inappropriate.
Yes.
But your childhood was like last week.
Right, yeah. Right. So along with things that came out in 2022, these two will be discussing things that we saw as children that molded us. Brian saw a great question on Twitter, naming off some films that really molded your childhood. So for our particular area here, we're going to talk about just anywhere from childhood up to maybe early teens.
Yeah.
Is a good place to cut it off. Maybe around your, whatever you deem to be your early teens, 12, 13, 14, something like that. So we're going to discuss some movies that really molded
pre-high school, maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Brian, you had the idea to do this topic, which is a lovely one. So why don't you start us off?
Yeah, let's do one at a time, kind of go around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
No surprise, Star Wars.
Yep. I'm just going to concur with you right now. I assumed we'd all have it. And it speaks to the timelessness of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Our podcast is based on 3 friends representing 3 different generations.
Episode.
We all experienced Star Wars, and it has carried with us through our lives and to our children. We've all introduced it to our children, all of varying ages, shared it with our families. So I knew we would all have Star Wars written down.
I actually didn't write it only for the fact that I knew that one of you two would. Just want to kind of change it up. So. Yep. But I agree with you 100%.
Timeless.
Yeah, for me as a kid, it was 1977 was released. I was in 3rd grade. I know we've mentioned this before, but there was no bigger movie out at the time.
Yep.
And my 3rd grade teacher, ironically, Mrs. Fisher, also.
Yeah.
Loved Mrs. Fisher, and she was so cool. Bless her heart. Oh, if she's still alive, if she's not, rest in peace. She was one of my favorite teachers of all time. Probably not. I don't know. Well, I don't know. My 4th grade teacher is still alive. I know that for a fact.
All right.
Anyway,
modern medicine's an incredible thing.
That's not what we're talking about. But she was a huge Star Wars fan, and she had like posters in the classroom. And then for Halloween that year, she had a homemade Darth Vader costume. This is before the actual Halloween costume.
She created the helmet and stuff?
Created the helmet. She had a motorcycle helmet that she made like, I don't know, whatever it was at the time. I still remember her walking in to this day, that image of her and doing the breathing and all that. I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
That's one of the coolest adults in the universe with Mrs. Fisher.
Love about you old people. You were so resourceful. You made costumes. It's insane.
It was so cool.
I mean, she put all like that time and effort just for you kids to like see her come in there, and like she didn't even have the right to vote yet.
Well, 77, I don't think she did. But anyways, like you say, you don't have to have watched it in the theater originally to not watch it as a child, obviously, to have it impact your life. So, huge thing. And then for me, I had all the toys and everything. It was just it got me into sci-fi immediately, and the whole, say no more. So it's
100%.
Definitely one of my top movies of my childhood, even and to this day.
Yeah. I would like to say, for the record, all joking aside, I would love nothing more than to get a YouTube comment or on some form of social media from Mrs. Fisher and being like, "You tell that little shit I'm alive and I'm thriving."
I didn't say
No, I know. No, I said it. I'm saying, all joking aside, I would love nothing more than to get that comment and be like, "Mrs. Fisher is doing a lot."
He's a little shit we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I'm purely joking, of course. But.
And she actually gave me, I'll just say, she gave me a teeny, like those little glass animals, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know where, a glass fish, somewhere we were on a field trip or something like that. She gave that to me. I still have it to this day in my home.
Aww.
She was hitting on you.
No. It's a child.
Did you get it in?
The 40s were a different time.
Did you fuck teacher Darth Vader?
Next. Dean, what do you have, sir?
All right. So I wanted to...
Dean, meanwhile, playing the part of a teacher who would mess around with a student.
I have a story. Anyways...
I want to hear it, not hear it.
Off air? We'll tell the story. All right, so... I went on like different emotions, what shaped me in joy, happiness, seriousness, fear.
Sure.
So my
Inside Out was not out when you were a child.
I'm going to go the first movie I have here, Pulp Fiction. Came out in 1994.
Yeah.
Little Dean was only 13 years old.
Oh, Jesus.
I probably saw it a year later when it came out on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
But it really, especially at 13, it like really showed what like movies could be.
Yeah.
A lot of them were very uniform, start to finish. This was like it blew your mind.
Oh yeah.
Of like what you could do in a timeline, to the story you could tell, and the types of story you can tell. It was mind blowing at 13 or 14 when I saw it.
Yeah.
So for me, Pulp Fiction really made an impact on my life.
Yeah.
So Pulp Fiction is my number one.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nikolai.
I'm going to start at a very base level. We're talking childhood.
Jingle all the way.
Just what?
Jingle all the way.
Oh, jingle, yeah. Simply put, jingle all the way.
All five. Jingle all the way. Sorry.
At a very base level, as a kid, one of my fondest Disney movies, certainly, and to this day, my favorite Disney movie. And one of my favorites as a kid, The Lion King. It was a big deal culturally at the time. I mean, if I can take you back to that time in Kidland, it was everywhere.
Lion King was 1994.
It was
right?
I don't know, maybe 95.
Okay.
Aladdin, I want to say, was 93 or 4. And Aladdin was 92. Or Lion King was Aladdin was 92. Then you might be
I'm
right.
guessing.
I'm
94.
Oh, okay, yeah, 94.
So I was right.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was everywhere. The toys, in the Happy Meals. I mean, it was everything was so hyper advertised at the time too for kids, like the on sleeping bags and on whatever. But aside from just culturally what it was in the 90s,
I was 13 years old when that movie came out.
Were you? So you had the sleeping bag also?
I had the blankets because on Christmas I was too old for it. I enjoyed the movie; it was fine. But being 13, my parents thought that they would get us all, character blankets, and they bought me Simba on the sheets and the blankets and stuff.
Trying to keep you youthful,
right? I guess. I'm like, I enjoyed the movie, but I don't know if a 13-year-old I want to have. I kept that fucking blanket for years.
Sure. No thanks, Mom and Dad. Just a copy of the Times and my bifocals. He was even in a rush back then to be old.
I'm not gonna have any girls in this bed anytime soon, so
Closest to get a pussy I'm gonna get. Come here, Simba.
Well, it was fucked up because I requested the Hindenburg to be on my blankets, but they got me Simba. So yeah, but that to your point, that's how big it was. It was on blankets and sheets and stuff.
But even aside from all the merchandising and stuff like that, to this day, it is my favorite of those classic Disney movies.
Sure.
It's just a great storyline. To this day, I don't know what it was with you wonder why people joke about millennials and how sensitive we are. Probably because every fucking animated film in the 90s was someone's parents getting stripped away from them at a young age. All these scarring, no pun intended, incidents and traumatic incidents happening to these characters. But yeah, man, The Lion King to this day, when there's something about when all the dust settles and, Mufasa
he's pushing
goes
with his paw
and he's, getting up under his paw and wake up, Dad, and tugging on his ear, and is just the disbelief that he's going to wake up at some point, that he's dead, that he thinks at some point he's going to wake up, let's go home. Every time I watch that movie, I
get kicked out for laughing at that point.
It just gets me right in the feels, man. But I love that movie. Yeah, when I really think of being a kid and a movie that I loved and watched over and over, I went and saw it in the theater, and then I watched it over and over on the big puffy. Megan and I were talking earlier about the big puffy Disney VHS cassettes they would put out there. The Disney ones were in these big kid ones that you could hold with your little baby hands. Yep. I don't really know what the design was behind those, but yeah, The Lion King is really when I think of real little kid childhood, that one always sticks with me. And to this day, I love watching it. So yeah, The Lion King. I'll start with there.
Good.
So, what about you?
No, good one,
Brian?
And it's hard to narrow it down to 5.
It was very hard.
Yeah.
I wrote down 7 or 8. So
no, we'll definitely have some.
I have some
for sure.
honorable mentions.
Yeah, for sure, no question about it. I've got Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
So this was a movie at the time that was on cable. Now again, you have to remember my childhood too. Again, there's no streaming,
right?
And there's no video rental either for a long time. I didn't experience even that. I mean, for me to catch movies as a kid, it was on cable. Movie channels and things, or you just caught it on reruns and things like that. So
there's no rewinding, so you watched it where it played.
That was it. Yeah, that's it. You had no VCR yet at the time. You just sort of had to watch for it and catch it. So Young Frankenstein was on it was at least on annually.
Sure.
I can't remember how I got turned on to it. I do recall a buddy of mine, a grade school buddy of mine, that we were best friends in high school that since passed away, Todd, rest in peace, accident years ago. But that was one that he and I think that's the extra thing too. When you have a connection to a friend or something like that too, it was like if he saw that it was on TV or I did, we called each other and said, "Hey, Young Frankenstein is on channel, whatever it was."
Yeah.
I remember sometimes even as like it was like young, I don't know, they'd sit there sometimes on the phone like young boys. Watching parts of it together or something dumb like that too. I don't
dumb.
know.
I mean,
that was very
for
nice.
the time.
You don't have stuff like that anymore.
No.
What a cool thing. You know what I mean? That really is a
you don't
place
have
and
that
time.
connection.
You can't, you got to sync up a stream at the same fucking time, like hit play, 1, 2, 3, yeah, now we're watching.
We actually did that during the pandemic.
Airplane.
The three of us watch Airplane.
Yeah, we should do more of those. But anyway, fantastic movie. Mel Brooks, arguably one of his best movies for
Absolutely.
sure. Hilarious, and it definitely had the whole classic horror feel. Just a fantastic movie. So not just the connection of watching and enjoying it with my friend, but just the whole feel of it. Gene Wilder, fantastic. Yeah, it could be one. I mean, you could argue different Gene Wilder movies. I mean, to me, that's one of his. It's certainly easily one of his best movies in his career. And it kind of got me in. I kind of like the horror movies and things like that, but this was kind of a. It's not scary. It's
introduction.
It's a good introduction of horror. It's creepy, but it's funny and everything else. So that definitely sparked more of my interest in, that era of movie monsters and things like that. So just a lot of great movies with Young Frankenstein. As a matter of fact, as you guys know, I have a dog,
right,
named Igor, after the character Marty Feldman, Igor, in Young Frankenstein. In my hallway to this day, I have a movie poster of Young Frankenstein hanging up right now. So, great movie, a lot of great memories. So, Dean, what do you got next?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. So my next movie, like I said, I wanted to choose genres. So I wanted to go sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I the only sports movie that there was a lot of sports movies that came to mind, but this one hit just right, when you're a kid, because it was the 80s, the Cold War. It got you pumped up for Reaganomics and Ronald Reagan in the 80s and
lifting a wagon, maybe
climbing up a goddamn mountain. Rocky 4.
I was like, why? That's so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is the fuck is he gonna say?
I still don't know.
Is this Rudy? Is this? I don't know.
You can give me all these clues. I still don't know.
Miracle on Ice.
Fantastic.
Rocky 4.
Yes.
Just every time. Once again, every time it came into HBO,
it's just fun.
It's just the same as the other Rockies.
It's ridiculous.
The boxing part is just silly. He's holding him like this and he's almost holding his chin up, which isn't going to happen.
And the referee's going to just allow that to happen.
Right.
Dolph Lundgren is the mammoth of
just
a man.
A monster. But you got to think of everything that it was almost propaganda for the 1980s America.
Oh yeah.
Because it was giving you the USA, but also the drug part.
That's right.
When you're showing the evil Russian getting prepared for this fight, and he's using these machines against Rocky, lifting up a wagon to climbing up a hill, and he's using the stair climber, which wasn't huge back then, right? And then you finally have the Russian
snow.
And it wasn't even somebody shooting him up. It was a robot shooting steroids into him.
That's right.
Just so fucking stupid and insane. But it came in 85. I was 4 years old, but obviously I was watching it on the HBO.
Sure.
And VHS. So just a couple of years after that. But that got you in the 80s, that was pumped as you could fucking possibly be.
It does.
And I still need to watch the cut version.
It's good. It's a different it's a different take on it for sure. Yeah.
That's mine. Rocky 4, 1985.
This was not last summer, but the summer prior. It was just Allie, and it was literally the 4th of July weekend. It was just her and I. We set up the big projector out back. We're like, what do you want to watch? We watched It was like
Rocky Marathon?
No. We watched
Okay.
Rocky 4.
Okay.
And literally around us was all the idiots shooting the fireworks off and everything else. We're watching Rocky
Brian's
4
crying.
with the fireworks. It was like, yeah!
I fucking love America.
I have a playlist on I'll show you where
He finished. They had sex later. He finished with the draped American flag on each hand.
Oh yeah. I had Allie fucking hold me over a rafter. You know what I'm saying? I was like doing crunches.
Oh yeah.
It was intense, man.
I wish I could have been there for that. Wow. It's been a lot.
Oh, he didn't send you the video.
Oh, yeah.
Sent me the video. That's weird.
It's on our Patreon. You go check that out.
All caps IFKN love America.
I'll share a nerdy thing about me as well. I have a playlist, like a workout playlist. You know.
Oh, please tell me that's on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
The training montage.
Yeah.
From Rocky 4 is on that playlist. It's just like it's like that whole scene. That's what it is.
He's using the. Remember that. There's
running,
like they
running
use
in the
these,
snow. And I got to picture everything that's happening on it.
These wooden things that like they would put across oxes' backs to plow fields.
Yeah.
And he's using it like this, running through snow. I mean, it just everything was like just basic nature.
Oh
You know? Well, you saw. Did you watch Creed though? Right.
Yeah.
Same thing of like. Well, did you see Creed 2?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I love the first one though.
They do kind of the same thing where he goes back to basics.
Okay.
And trains.
I figure that's what's happening next because he kind of the end
it's
of
very mirrored.
he ends is very like this is a respectable.
But it's not
outcome.
as Creed 2 at least does it not as silly.
Right.
But in the 80s, in 1984 or 85, that wasn't silly.
No. I was going to say everything was silly in 1984.
But like not. If you watched it then, you didn't. I mean, well, you'd probably watched
it in the theater. Oh yeah.
So did you find it silly? No, you found it cool and exciting.
Of course.
And it shaped you because to this day you know
look at those
pumps you up.
guns.
Pumps you up.
That's right. I'm lifting fucking wagons. I'm getting up to 10 people.
You listen to that playlist jerking off. Look at those fucking guns. Look at that.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So Rocky 4.
Great choice.
All right.
Nick, what's your next one?
But wow, I'm really thrown off by that montage. What was my? Oh, okay. So comedy. Comedy would have to be my favorite genre of movies. And when I think back to, there's many.
I think you'd bring it to this podcast.
There's many great comedy movies, but when I really think back to being a kid and one of the first ones that really I feel like had a big hand in molding my sense of humor and really like hit home with me, especially the time it came out. Being raised with my parents, it kind of fit in with our kind of vibe and all that stuff. My parents were big fans. Wayne's World has been around for as long as I can remember, and I think I would almost accredit it to being my intro to Saturday Night Live before it really, I wasn't watching Saturday Night Live when Wayne's World came out.
It was a 2-hour Saturday Night Live skit.
Right, but man, I just absolutely love that movie. I can recite it from front to back. I remember my parents leaving my house the night to go on a date night. My grandma came and sat with me. And I remember them going to see it in the theater, and then, we just had it on VHS, and we'd watch it all the time and recite it. Very quotable. We quoted the lines all, to this day, anytime Bohemian Rhapsody's on.
Yep.
It's not a Queen song to me. It's a Wayne's World song to me. The whole, when it gets heavy and everybody headbangs in the car and the Mirthmobile. It's just...
You can't hear that without seeing the guy in the middle, like, trying not to throw
let me go, and I'll let you go, let me go. Well, right.
It was a resurgence for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Queen. And that, honestly, in the Bohemian... Was it called Bohemian Rhapsody? The movie? Right. Yes. That was my favorite part, that Mike Myers played the record exec that he goes, you need an anthem. Something that teenagers can get in their car and bang their heads to. And I was like, beautifully done. Yeah. Just an excellent insert. But yeah, man, I love comedy movies and it's one of my all-time favorites. And I'll have another one or two depending on how long we go or honorable mentions or whatever, but that I will mention. But that one really, when I really date back to what's the earliest one I remember and really hits home and to this day is still just hysterical to me, it's probably Wayne's World.
No, I agree with you. Great movie.
100%.
Yep.
A lot of fun.
So,
very quotable.
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dinas, what do you got?
No, I think it is.
I think it is me. Yeah. So
you brought up Rocky.
Yeah.
Were we going this way?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, we went around the table.
Brian's old. He messed up the thing. It didn't go this way.
I'll have a comedy
thing.
one here. Another comedy for me. So, and again, this movie was on cable. Summer of it was released in 1980. Every time this movie came, one of my best friends, Tim Lester, listens to this every so often. So Tim, if you're listening, hey brother, every time this movie came on, we watched it. It was like that summer of the early 80s. It was like 81 or 82. It was the same summer that MTV came out. It's like 82, something like that. So it was
81.
Like 81. Okay,
August,
so was that
August of 81.
There you go. So it was that summer. He moved in across the street. We met, hung out. That summer it's ingrained in my brain. It was MTV, Atari, and Caddyshack. Okay?
Absolutely.
Again, I don't care if it was 10 minutes left or it started. We stopped everything. Caddyshack is on. We're watching it. Same type of deal.
That was one of the backyard movies.
I'm sure I got phone calls
last summer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure there were phone calls. Come over, watch Caddyshack, and that movie had everything. It had comedy. It had nude women,
right,
in it, which was fabulous. Like they're doing some type of drug. I don't know. I have no idea what this is, but it's kind of it's definitely adult humor. It's funny, just fantastic. To this day, one of my favorite movies. Like I said, we watched it last summer in the backyard. It's super quotable. Again, one of my favorite movies of all time.
You can, I think, in the annals of like film, I think ultimately Caddyshack, and you can go 100 years. That's one that will be mentioned.
I think so. Anyway,
I mean, just for it was innovative for its time, right?
Sure.
So it meets that criteria. I mean, Rodney Dangerfield at his best.
Yeah.
Right.
Chevy Chase, Bill Murray.
Right.
God, Chevy Chase was in there?
Oh yeah.
My God. Ted Knight.
Ted,
so fucking
Ted Knight
fantastic.
is that
Smails.
movie, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we're waiting.
Even to this day,
Yes.
right now, they have a new, Miller Ultra, Michelob Ultra campaign.
Yes,
based
I
on
saw it,
Caddyshack.
yeah.
Right. So I saw it. New Era Caps has a new Caddyshack line of caps with the gopher and everything. So it's still that popular.
I defy anybody of our age range to play golf and not quote it sometime in the 9 or 18 they're playing.
Yeah, it's going to be mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. There you go.
All right, so I'm moving on to 1985. I was 4 years old again. And the movie
for the second time.
For the second time. Well, I'm so old. I aged twice. Nope. The movie Clue.
Okay.
Now, again, you're laughing on because why would it be Clue?
Yeah.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Obviously, I was 4. I didn't watch it in the theater, so it was at least 2 to 3 years after, right?
Okay.
When it was on HBO, a lot.
Right.
Now, Clue was one of those movies that,
tons of people in it.
Again, it's like Pulp Fiction, as in, it definitely, I didn't see anything like it. Because by the time I got to HBO, in the theater, when it originally came on the theater, they had 3 endings. Depending on where you were in the country, saw a different ending.
Oh, interesting.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
But on HBO, you got to see almost back-to-back simultaneously, could have happened this way, could have happened this way. And they showed you all the endings. So to me, that was like the mind-blowing thing that a movie could do that.
Yeah. Never seen anything like that before, yeah.
And it was funny. It was I mean, there was some sexy part of the Yvette, right?
Yep,
as a
maid,
young
Madeline
kid,
Kahn was in
right?
that. Tim Curry.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, that's right.
Michael McKean.
Yeah.
The cast is incredible. I've heard they've been in talks for a few years about rebooting it, doing a new one, which I'd be okay with.
Could be done.
It's one of those that I'll take a look at it.
Sure.
But yeah, it was just, to me, I watched it every time it came on. HBO, I'm like you said, for Caddyshack. beginning and middle. You know it. You could recite it. You're in on it. So to me, Clue. What I just remember line for line, like how you feel. Some of those movies have smells, as in like you remember, your smells from childhood just by watching it on the screen. Sitting there on the floor like this, and just the smells of everything because it's that.
Stuck with you that much. It's ingrained in your mind.
Yes, and that's what Clue is for me. So Clue is my next offer.
Very good. And with the top 3 movies based on board games of all time.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the other ones are. Battleship, maybe that's up there.
Remember Rihanna was in that?
I don't know.
Jumanji, does that count? Jumanji only became a board game because of the movie. It wasn't based on a board game.
There's other ones in there.
Yeah.
Battleship?
No. Battleship. I just said that. Battleship was an actual movie.
Was there's Battleship.
Battleship.
Yeah. Candyland? Is there Candyland?
There's got to be Candyland, right?
Now that actually
was there
all the way back around starred Rob Lowe, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
He played Mr. Mint.
Mr. Kane. Mr. Mint.
It was a character, Kane.
Yeah, he sailed his boat down the chocolate river? Is that?
I don't know.
Tell me about it, please.
Look it up.
Tell me about sending your candy cane down the chocolate river.
Yeah, check it out. Rob Blow.
Let's do it.
Prove I'm wrong. Yep. Nick, what's your
All right. Let's get this back on track. I'm going to go with, I don't know if you call it a drama, I guess. I don't know what else it would be. Definitely one of
Jingle All the Way.
The first time. Howard Langston is at his wit's end, and it's Christmas Eve, and he doesn't have the fucking Turbo Man. Drama ensues. No, this came out in 1996, based off of a comic book. The Crow,
Titanic,
is one of the. I mean, I remember that was kind of one of those in my formative years. That's a movie that
dark.
It was dark.
Sure.
It was badass. It was vengeful. It was tragic. I don't know. It was one of the first movies that I really latched onto that wasn't a comedy or a kids movie or whatever.
Sure.
That was just a great story being told. And like I didn't even know it was a comic book when I first saw it. I just thought it was this really kick-ass movie. Initially, I thought it was a movie about Sting at the time because Sting actually like revamped his whole thing in the WCW to look like fucking the Crow. But yeah, man, like
he sat up in the rafters.
Yeah, he came down from the rafters. The black trench coat. I mean, he did. He was
at one point. I think he had a fucking crow on his shoulder, if I'm not mistaken.
You're supposed to be a scorpion. It doesn't even make fucking sense. But yeah, man, the Crow was just cool as shit. Tragic story of a guy, him and his fiance are brutally, murdered and by this gang, and he comes back from the dead. It's story been told is very similar.
Yeah, like a lot of 80s movies did that.
A lot of things are, very similar in storytelling wise, but just Brandon Lee was fantastic in it, and tragically it was his final film.
Yeah.
I to this day I love that movie. I think I like every time I watch it, because there are times where you watch movies that you loved as a kid or you loved growing up and you thought were just fucking super killer and kick ass. And you're like, oh, it's gonna be sick. I'm gonna watch it again, and then you're like, it's not quite.
You feel a little bad about it.
And you do take into account it was made in 1996, so certain effects and things. But man, it's gritty and it's grimy and it's still really good. Good acting. I love it. I still love that movie to this day. So The Crow is, like I said, I guess you would call it a drama. Really, I don't know what else it would categorize as. It's certainly not a superhero movie.
A little bit of action,
but it's action involved. Yeah, but yeah, man.
Draction.
I like that. I like Draction.
There you go.
Good term.
Thank you.
I like that. A new Deanism. But yeah, The Crow. The Crow is one of mine. So, Brian, what you got?
Good. Another one is a kind of reoccurring theme, the old cable movies. So this movie, again, is another one. When it came on, I would typically sit down and watch it. And it definitely made me a super fan of James Bond.
Okay.
So back in that time, there was James Bond movies on cable all the time.
Sure.
But this particular one, I was just getting into my preteen, young teen, For Your Eyes Only. Roger Moore at the peak of Roger Moore, James Bond period, right? This was early 80s. So they had the crazy, ridiculous... See, Moonraker's close, too. That was a crazy, over-the-top James Bond movie when James Bond in outer space.
Moonraker?
Moonraker.
I've never heard of that one.
James Bond in outer space. Say no more. Okay.
Did he meet Jason out
James
there?
X.
No. That's just a crazy, ridiculous, over-the-top James Bond movie. And then we got to reel this back in, have
He
more
was
of a
just
classic.
in a tuxedo with just like the dome, like the fish dome on his head.
Check out the movie poster for that.
Is it close?
I was going to say, I'm
close.
sure it probably is similar to
It's
that.
James Bond with a tuxedo underneath an astronaut suit.
Yeah,
And
all right. Sure.
Anyway, that was close because I watched that all the time as well back as a kid. That was around the Star Wars anyway. But For Your Eyes Only, to this day, is my favorite James Bond film. No reason it should be really because there's definitely better movies without question. I realize that, but this movie had everything. Roger Moore was my James Bond growing up in high school and in my young teen years. And I was just like, wow, that character struck me as like so super cool. Roger Moore, I loved him. And it had fucking skiing. There's a scene where people are skiing down a bobsled trench, which is insane. And stunt people doing this stuff. I think
so. Bobsled, like where it's like a U type deal.
Yeah, like a bobsled,
okay.
Straight ice.
Yeah,
there's stunt people going down with no pole, skiing down this thing. I don't know how fast they're flying. It's fantastic. Tropical scenes, snow scenes, James Bond, of course.
It's everything you want in a James Bond movie.
It's everything you want in a James Bond movie. So. That solidified me as a James Bond fan to this day. And right now, again, all these movies, I have a James Bond movie poster, authentic one, For Your Eyes Only, hanging in my stairway.
Sure, because they only made one.
Then you got it.
It's
the one that was done.
I got it as a gift from somebody in the past. So yeah,
that's cool.
There you go. That's it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, my turn?
Yes.
All right.
That's my 5. We'll do honorable mentions if there's still time to do that. Please go ahead.
My 4th one here is the cool surface. If you...
The cooled surface?
The cool surface.
Cool surface.
Cricket should have been placed there because nobody saw it. It probably, not in the theaters, VHS to HBO, but as a 13-year-old Dean, it was Terry Thatcher... From she was in the Lois and Clark series at the time.
Oh yeah,
this was
Charmed. She was in Charmed, wasn't she? Was she one of them?
No. She was in Desperate Housewives.
Okay.
But at the time, Lois and Clark, 13-year-old Dean. I'm sure the movie was a couple years before, but it showed her breasts. And 13-year-old Dean wore the shit out of that pause button.
Sure.
I don't know if that. It shaped my life, but it definitely shaped my penis. So
it shaped the wear and the fabric of the front of your pants.
It is funny because you get those movies. It's like when you're as a young boy. It's like I think girls are kind of cool, and you see something,
and it's like,
wow,
that's what that's for.
Right, I'm going to be aspiring my entire life for something close to that.
Right.
And I'm perfectly okay with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember a movie that, the sexy movie that kind of like sparked everything?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, what was it?
Mine's next.
Oh, it's on there.
It's on there. It's on there. Yeah, I'll lead into
timing
it.
there.
Nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
all right.
Yeah.
So Brian, if you can think of like that sexy movie.
I can tell you right now, I know what it is.
Yes, please go ahead.
Well, Caddyshack, I already mentioned Caddyshack. The scene with Caddyshack that was cool. But Dress to Kill.
Okay.
Dress to Kill was a late 70s movie, again, on cable. Angie Dickinson.
Right.
Okay. But it wasn't her. It was a stunt person, whatever it was. But the opening scene.
Body double is what
Body double. Excuse me, not stunt person, yeah. Body double. The opening scene is a woman in a shower And it's just like, again, I mean, the fucking, it's like, boom, right out of the gate.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lady in the shower. And it's just like painting down. You don't even see the woman's face. Just painting down this woman's body with water pouring over her. I'm just like, oh my God.
Right.
And then a killer comes in and kills her. And it's like, but anyways, that opening scene, you knew it was,
for the first time, you're like,
90 seconds or something like here. I'm really going to
things are going on here.
Yeah.
That's actually how you described it. That's actually how I met Nick. Without the killer.
Yeah. Water
pouring down on his titty meat. And
I was going to say, let him use it on this one. He's just dying. He's getting revved up about his first experience.
Out, unfortunately, it was a body double.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Nikolai.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so let me take you back to mine. I've got my sexy pick all queued up here.
Should I close my eyes? Should I get into this?
Yeah.
All right.
I want you to take you back. Young Nicholas was about 5. And I'm not fucking joking.
Okay.
There was a children's movie.
I was 13.
Nicholas was shown, unsuspecting. His grandparents bought it for him on VHS. Of course, it was a child's movie.
I know what this is.
No reason to think that this could awaken what would someday be the long life pursuit of young Nicholas at 5 years old. In Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
I knew it.
Nicholas first saw
great. Yes, it is
the female form and what he liked in a woman. He saw curves for the first time.
Yeah, Jessica Rabbit.
He saw a large bust and he saw hips.
Yeah.
And the sexy smoky eyes.
That's something.
And the legs.
And that was all in Roger.
And he knew that white bunny in them red overalls would forever change his life.
Fur.
Yeah, man, that is. And it's funny to say, but like I always had this, certainly at 5 and whatever. But I grew up, my dad liked a lot of the 80s in these videos, there's all these girls scantily clad with this teased out hair
on the Trans Am hood,
just chains, and they're rolling around on hoods of cars. I mean, it was always
rest in peace.
Yes.
Adult females being sexualized was certainly always there.
Yes. Yeah.
But I remember very distinctly.
You did not have a woke childhood.
No. I remember very distinctly seeing Jessica Rabbit for the first time and knowing full well that it's a cartoon, but being like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, I couldn't stop thinking about that fucking cartoon. To this day, I love Jessica Rabbit.
I get it.
Just, that was my first... My first...
May I volley?
Lust. Yes.
Okay. Off topic, real quick.
If you want to hear nude scene, that would be something different, but that's not on my list. But
real quick, to this day, how it affected you? Could you look at Jessica Rabbit and do your thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I follow a whole bunch of Instagram accounts that have women dressed up like Jessica Rabbit.
Holy.
No, but
that's what the great thing about this day and age. You could define that. It's there.
But you could throw it around to the cartoon version.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Yeah.
I respect that.
And, fun thing, there's a lot of creative people out there.
I'm sure
you can go to websites and find animated versions of that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not typically my cup of tea, but, hey, whatever.
Sure.
But I remember in a little sidebar there, when you talked about wearing out the pause button on a nude scene, Heather Graham in Boogie Nights as Roller Girl.
Yes.
When I found that scene, I was like,
a little older.
I knew exactly where it was. It was right near the beginning, and I knew exactly where it was.
Heather Graham.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Fantastic.
That's what I'm going to say without being inappropriate.
So, yeah. I'm proud to say I'm probably less pervy than I was at 5. Probably not, but I'm less outward about being a pervert as I was when I was 5.
You hold things in
a little bit.
You suppress.
Yes. So, but no,
I don't.
I did when, and it's funny because I did not initially have Who Framed Roger Rabbit down on my list, but when we discussed in our group chat and you mentioned your criteria, I thought, you know what? That is a good thing to think about. And I'm like, I can't not put it on there because it absolutely had an impact on what I like.
Yeah.
Now.
Because, some movies going to make, your mind grow, and some going to make the dick grow. You got all the things.
That's right. It can hope.
You know,
Two goals in a man's life, right there, summed up.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's his life.
Yep. So, Brian, what you got up next?
Well, we're on honorable
How many we
mentions
got?
now. So
Honorable?
how much you
How
guys
am
want to
I-
keep going?
Yeah,
or?
no, I've got.
I think
I've
we
done
went out of
4.
order. One,
I did.
two,
I have one left for
3,
5.
I've got 4. Yeah.
I did Star Wars.
Yeah, me
and
too.
Frankenstein,
We all
Caddyshack,
agreed on
for your eyes
Star
only.
Wars, but maybe that's where it all
Maybe.
happened off the top. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right, what you can just.
Yeah.
I'll give you an honorable mention here. I got a few of these here. I'm going to say Airplane.
I have. Yep.
Airplane.
Same
so
thing. That's on my
obviously we
honorable
mentioned it even in
mentions.
this conversation. It's honorable mention for
Yep.
me. Early '80s, just the, I know we did a prior episode. Go back and look through earlier episodes. We did a
Archives.
watch along. Not a watch along. We watched, and then Nick had never seen it before. It's an interesting take on it, but at the time, and I still think it's hilarious to this day. Just crazy, bizarre humor, and that's when I realized I like this type of humor. It's
Right.
funny, it's ridiculous, and that type of stuff to this day makes me laugh to this day. So,
I had that in my honorable mentions only because I thought of that, and that's my number one, right? That would have been my number one.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started thinking to myself, you have all of this slapstick throughout the very late 70s, early 80s, hell, all throughout the 80s, right? So I couldn't place just one because like Naked Gun movies, Airplane, Hot Shots, all of them I could watch and quote as I go. So that is why it has to be honorable mention because it's a fucking.
You can't even see me. He heard me.
I know.
at the time, it was like nothing you ever saw on the big screen.
Right. It
Nothing.
was the comedy was just off the page of like just the silliness but smart. It was brilliant.
Mm-hmm. I'm petting a kitty off camera.
Ernie's here. He's been on the show. He's jumped up there. occasionally.
Yeah.
All right. So my last one here.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go with horror. What's because like as a kid, 80s, 90s, you looked at. I watched the Freddy Kruegers and Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers. To me, all of that was silly.
Mm-hmm.
Slasher films, I didn't start to appreciate until I had a son and he got into them.
Mm-hmm.
But so for me, there's not even a year that my age because it came out before me. The Amityville Horror, to me, was one of the most fucking frightening movies.
Yep.
It is the one movie where I first remember not being able. Actually, it's honestly the only movie as a kid I remember not being able to sleep because I watched it earlier in the night.
Mm-hmm.
Simply the fucking scene where he has the sledgehammer in the basement, broke open the wall with the red and the blood and the ghost. And that scene alone kept me up for fucking nights.
That was creepy. Yeah. It's a passageway
Right.
to hell.
Right. Just the flies. It didn't use exact boogeyman or you never saw the boogeyman. You never saw the
never
bad
saw
guy.
a demon or nothing. Yeah.
It was the suspense and horror of it.
Yeah.
So that movie freaked me out. So that movie, when we're talking about horror and that genre, to me, especially as a kid, there's nothing that could compare.
Yep. I told you before on this show, don't watch it now. You'll disappoint yourself.
Oh, I'm sure.
But as a
I'm
kid,
sure.
keep it there.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. To round out my top 5, I've got another comedy, and this was really close. This if Wayne's World's a 1A, this is definitely a 1B. Mm-hmm. Similar things to say about it. Just we quoted it a lot and very popular. Similar to what you mentioned about Caddyshack. You can't go golfing without quoting it. It's Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just a fucking there's many Adam Sandler movies I could throw up there in that time range, but Happy Gilmore is hands down just my favorite one.
Yeah.
It was just so funny, and just at that time, again, just right up my alley comedy wise. I feel like it did a lot to like mold my sense of humor and stuff like that. So yeah, but like I said, just very similar kind of vibes as Wayne's World. Just quotable. I've seen it a million times. Like
again, just like Caddyshack, you can't go golfing without saying something from that movie.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think same as Caddyshack, same as Happy Gilmore. I think those movies, given the veil of comedy and silliness, did something for the sport, right?
Sure, of course. Yeah.
Because like you have this generation of kids that like wouldn't have even thought about going to this stuffy old sport where, you know, they're wearing the loud pants and whatever. Now they're going because of these movies.
Right.
So I think it's iconic not just for the humor and the quotability
for the game as well,
but for like what it did for the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, absolutely. Sure. Yeah, we did that golf tournament that one year, and there was a team there that was dressed up. Like, remember, there was somebody dressed up with the Happy Gilmore, somebody was dressed up as the caddy, somebody was dressed up as an alligator, and somebody was, I think, as Chubbs or something. But I mean, they all had the outfits. There was everybody had a theme or a team that they dressed up as, and one team was dressed up as Happy Gilmore stuff was really good. But yeah, like I love that movie. So, do you want me to go and roll into honorable mentions after that? I'll just throw a quick few out here. One would have to be another comedy, and just kind of, I don't know, I don't know if you want to call it my first introduction into musicals. I guess it would have to be.
Okay.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
All right.
Similar to what you mentioned, I had a friend in middle school that introduced me to this.
We were well into adulthood.
I think it was middle school that introduced me to this
I have it
movie.
on VHS.
And we would sing those. I know every word to every song, and that we would sing it. And we just, I mean, at our age, late middle school, early high school.
You guys are brilliant.
We absolutely, yes.
You did as well?
I've never seen it.
What? Oh my god!
I love South Park.
Yeah,
it's fucking amazing,
it's fun. You
hilarious.
can watch it anytime. I have it on DVD,
but I've never. I've seen
HBO Max.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the songs and clips and chunks. I've probably seen it in different pieces, but I've never seen it front to beginning.
It's good.
These guys are geniuses.
Very good.
Yeah,
and it's just like I said, it's standalone, great. You can watch it anytime because a lot of South Park is topical and satirical to what's going on in world. I mean, this is nothing like that. I mean, it's just you can watch it anytime. It's just fantastic. But yeah, we used to call each other and we'd sing the songs and say the lines to each other in school and shit and giggle because you ever got caught saying any of that shit in school, you get in trouble. But it was just it was fantastic. And then another drama I'd like to shout out a teacher. Call back to yours there. My 5th grade teacher, Mr. Henman, around the Easter season, spent about I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but spent about 2 to 3 weeks and would spend anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes at a time showing us a movie because it was a very long movie. And we watched
Passion of the Christ.
Close.
Beat you to it.
Hey, it's back. There you go.
I'm so close.
Yeah. But we watched Ben-Hur, and man, what a great I don't know, man. I love that movie. Really?
Yeah,
great storytelling, great. It just, really, I don't know. It really, I was in 5th grade at the time. Really captivated me. There's a lot of kids in class that, you show 5th graders Ben-Hur.
Sure.
A lot of kids don't care. They're not paying attention. They're talking through it. But, man, it got me.
That shows, the power of that movie. How old were you? You were 5th grade, so
5th grade,
11,
something like that. Yeah, because Lane's in 5th grade now.
To be an 11-year-old and to have a movie from the 50s, affect you for
that's cool.
Now you're putting it on this list.
Yeah,
that's something.
And I'm sure with teacher at the time, Mr. Henman, that was trying to do that, cast the web, and people that latch onto it, like myself, take it for life and love the movie, and then some kids probably don't even remember they saw it, but yeah, man, it's just a great film. Cool. Love it, and that's about it. I think that's all I've got written down.
All right.
So what do you got?
I've got a couple honorable mentions. We talked about Star Wars again. I didn't put it on my main list because I knew you guys would do it and we'd talk about it. Field of Dreams. Ends up being one of my favorite movies. I didn't put it on because it was subtle, right? Like it was like one of those movies that like it was a sports movie, so I didn't know what like category, and I was going on categories here. But Field of Dreams just now you've seen it, right?
I've never seen Field of Dreams, no.
Actually, it would be fascinating to see you watch it now because you're a father.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It definitely hits different if you watch it at any time to compare it to when you're a father. It hits different.
I used to get Field of Dreams and Rookie of the Year mixed up because I had dated a girl that liked both of those movies, and I know they're both about baseball, and I don't know which one's which.
Yeah.
I mean, now I know.
Again,
Field of
should
Dreams
watch
is the
Field of
cornfield. The other one's the other one.
Actually, Robin showed me Rookie of the Year a few years back, so I have seen Rookie of the Year. Does that rest easy? I've seen Rookie of the Year, not Field of Dreams, but I've seen Rookie of the Year.
You should watch Field of Dreams. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, Major League Baseball to this day, they build a stadium in that cornfield.
You
know that
where it was filmed.
No.
They built a stadium in the actual
cornfield
set of the cornfield, and now they have players. They rotate teams that play there. This is a few years ago they started doing this.
That's pretty cool.
And they run out. They come
when
they step out of the cornfield into the.
And Kevin Costner
to the stadium.
announces everything each year.
Okay, that sounds. I work with
it.
a girl who is a mega Kevin Costner super fan.
Balin?
Follows him around, like sees his bands play and stuff, and says she goes
It's
to
Balin, right?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's obviously it still has an impact on baseball today.
Yeah,
Rightly,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it did impact me on not just film but baseball as well.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And then my last, I actually had Airplane listed here as slapstick. So every slapstick genre, and that actually could be like my one, deal. But my last honorable mention, I'm gonna name because Jesus, it is the gold standard of comic book movies. Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Thompson? Come on.
Oh, no.
It's Howard the Duck. It's Howard the Duck. I tell you what, let me tell you a little thing about Howard the Duck. It was one of those first movies because Howard the Duck, I didn't even write it down. I don't know when Howard the Duck came, when it was, but I remember I was young, right? Howard the Duck, the scene where Leah Thompson fucks the duck.
Yeah. It's a
a thing.
It happened.
The feathers come up. There was tingling going on, and I didn't know why.
And that was Dean's introduction to bestiality.
Yep.
That's how Dean knew he liked that.
No, the duck had human eyes and stuff, but
but a duck dick.
You show the duck dick.
Why?
All I know is Leah Thompson from Back to the Future was getting it on.
Oh, boy.
And like the way she touched and yes, young Dean, it was a very confused boner. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very good.
How about you? You got a confused boner over there?
Usually I want to get together with you guys.
Why? Why are you doing this now? Why?
Howard the Duck is a gold standard in Dean's childhood movies, but a gold standard in tattooing. I mention here is the Golden Heart Tattoo shop in beautiful Norton, Ohio, close to here. Remember, I'm going next Friday.
Basically,
I'll show you some new ink on this arm here. We're going to keep adding to this arm here, and I'll show you on the show here. But next Friday, going to see Scott, and I called him at 234-706-2982. You can find them on Facebook at Golden Heart Norton, Norton, and their website, goldenhearttattoos.com. So if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, go check out the gold standard of tattoo shops in the
standard
area.
Boom.
Yes. All right, a couple more honorable mentions for me real quick. You know, you mentioned Ben-Hur, and it struck me. It should have been on my list. I'm going to add it right now. Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
that's a one for me. I would have to put that on my honorable mentions
Yeah,
as well.
the Planet of
that
the Apes,
was-
the original movie
grew
with
up with
Charlton
those.
Heston, and the whole series. That was something. Of course, you know that was in '68 or something like that. So I saw it on TV, and it had a series for a second. But that was a very popular thing when I was a young kid. That whole series and all that. And even now, if you go back and watch those, Rod Serling he wrote the screenplay for the original Planet, who did the Twilight Zone and all that stuff. That movie, it definitely speaks. It's very powerful even now. It speaks to racism and everything else. And those first few are pretty.
If you look at like the ending,
go up and down. But go ahead.
The ending with like
the Statue of Liberty.
And you look at it from the idea of like who wrote it. It is kind of
It's a mindfuck, yeah.
No, well,
it's a Twilight Zone.
It's a Twilight Zone episode, like a 2 hour or whatever.
Right.
That whole Charlton Heston is fabulous. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Damn y'all.
Because like in the Twilight Zones, they covered and looked over race and religion. Like they didn't hold back on anything back then.
Did not. The fly through Raiders of the Lost Ark we mentioned earlier today. Yep. I saw that movie with my parents in the theater as a kid, and it was like, why? Just Harrison Ford, bigger than life. It was like, how could Harrison Ford do something besides Han Solo? Didn't make any sense necessarily, but as soon as you saw him, it's like completely pulled it off.
Right.
He could equally pull off Indiana Jones and Han Solo. No question about it. It wasn't like Han Solo in a fucking leather jacket and a whip. No, it's Indiana Jones, happens to be Harrison Ford, who just kicked ass. Fantastic movie. Was that
you with me? We'd like to see Brian in a leather jacket.
Oh, sure.
And a
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Nothing else.
I could take her
else.
lose the leather jacket, but the whip is necessary.
No. I want the leather jacket, no pants.
Okay.
Just leather
Winnie
jacket
the Pooh with a whip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. The Shining. Again, another movie on cable as a kid. It was just horror movie classic that definitely helped define my. I prefer horror movies that have more of that creepy type factor.
Sure.
Yeah, less than like
the
slasher more.
stuff is funny and fun and this and that and the other, and it's fine. But that type of movie was just frightening. You know, Blues Brothers. That is my version of the Wayne's World, I guess. It was a Saturday Night Live skit, if you will, that made its way to the big screen. My parents took me right down the street here at the West Theater, right down from here. That's where I saw the Blues Brothers for the first time with my parents back in 1980. Great memory for that because it was a rated R movie with my parents.
Right.
Fantastic. And the Pink Panther strikes again.
Sure.
Peter Sellers and his my love of all the Pink Panther movies as a kid. Still enjoy those to this day. I know we talked about physical comedy in the prior podcast, stuff like that. Peter Sellers is one of the best of all time, hands down. Him as Inspector Clouseau, genius.
Perfect.
Many more we could talk about, I'm sure.
Yep.
But
we missed a lot.
Yes.
Because, it's limited of like numbers and time and the whole deal, but I think all of us had good lists.
Yeah, but it's interesting because there's all the movies we talked about here. We could definitely see how that the humor that we like, the horror that we like, sci-fi, the action, those movies still resonate with us to this day. Yeah, absolutely. So, want to hear from you out there as well. So, if there's any movies out there that defined your childhood and why, we'd love to hear from you.
What are you shaped like?
Yeah.
I'm round.
Yeah. Maybe you're shaped like a fucking cucumber. I don't know.
Yeah, a hexagon.
Well, don't get him excited. Relax.
Maybe an eggplant.
Oh, whoa. All right, see what you did.
Absolutely.
See what you did.
Say I'm already there.
Maybe a nice couple melons, maybe, or something. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah.
He's like, nah, yuck. And those melons.
Not unless they're below the waist. No thanks.
They're so big.
Well, we know we're making plenty of impacts to our listeners and viewers out
As
there.
always.
Right, we're going to be added to some list someday. What podcast shaped you as a young person?
And I'm hoping that when that category of like what podcast you masturbated to.
When I first heard Dean say titty meat, It was credited with giving me the tingle for the very first
We do
time.
have. Now, this is not a joke.
Oh, my butthole tingled.
According to our metrics, there is like a certain percentage of 5 or so percent are in 18 to young 20 range that listen to us.
Really?
Well,
yeah,
doesn't seem accurate.
So we're shaping lives, impacting
and hopefully
young
penises.
people.
Yeah,
sure. You know.
Yeah, we want a face like that, wanting to shape penises of 18 to 25-year-olds. That's not a fucking legal battle waiting to happen.
Maybe vaginas too. You know, we sculpt the hood.
Now Dean can't go to parks and be, you know.
No, that was before I shaved. That had nothing to do with the shaving.
I like a hipster that looks like he's from 1920. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really gets me going.
And then an old guy who was born in 1920.
Well, on that note,
yeah,
Nick,
yep,
will you take us out?
Absolutely.
Episode 141.
141.
That's right.
Well, it has been 141 fantastical episodes of Convincing Idiots.
That's right.
We thank you if you are listening to this point. We know we have taken up much of your time, but let's face it, what other way would you rather spend your time than with the three of us? So, if you would like to
Dick's
spend
already in your hand.
even more time with us, you can find us on all of our social media accounts. You can conveniently find links to all of them on our link tree. So Google Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE, and you can go and like, subscribe, rate, review, and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. We are also available there and on our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com, where you can find merch and so much more. So, for another episode of Convincing Idiots, I am your Millennial Nick.
Zennial Dean.
Thanks, Brian.
Have we shaped you or convinced you to shape another this week on Convincing Idiots? My shoulders. You can do one more.
I'll try.
Hey there, if you like that video, or if you just like to watch us make fools of ourselves, please like and subscribe to this channel. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you back here.